and sit down.
Hello gang, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop, and my lustrous assistant of the evening, Anthea Red Fox.
Lustrous. I have a lustre to me.
Well,
Everyone.
yeah, I mean, I could embarrass you by saying you smell of matey, but I won't do that.
That's all right. And sherbet dib dab, thank you very much.
And sherbet dib dab, yes,
Yep,
folks,
yeah, absolutely.
yes, absolutely, mate.
Nobody knows what that means.
No, I'll just have a quickie looky Sue's in the chat. Lynn Dipple's in, saying hello to everyone. Candygram from Mongo's in. Finally got you sorted out as a mod, mate, so you should see a spanner next to your name now, mate.
Can't believe you made him a mod. That's going to end in trouble, that is.
Yeah, but dare I say it? Yeah, he's a trustworthy bloke. Yeah, words I'm going to regret, eh?
Yeah.
Lynn saying, hi Jeff, I'm looking forward to some fun. She has to work this weekend, no. Oh, bless your heart.
Oh no. She does say later on if someone can write her a note telling her she's not fit for work.
Yeah, I can just turn around and say Lynn can't come to work today because she's left her uniform at home.
Yep, Lynn can't come to work today, Mr. Bossman, cause she's got a bone in her leg, thanks, bye.
Yeah. Scaly saying hello to Candygram, hope you're all right.
Dad hurts.
Paul's in, Plastic Monkey. How do, Paul? Hope you're all right, buddy. Wendy Hickson's in, saying hi, Lynn, Candygram, Scaly Models, and Plastic Monkey. And I do believe Wendy was in very early as well, because I'm sure I saw your name pop up when I checked earlier.
Quite possibly. Yeah, well, the first comment I've got is Lynn saying hello to Wendy, so.
Yeah, Atoll McNichols saying, well, as it seems he's not able to get to sleep due to his neighbours having yet another party, he might as well stop here for a while and see what is what at Festa's workshop. Oh, mate, sure we're having neighbour troubles there at home. Yeah. Do you go round and knock on the door with a rather large sledgehammer, mate?
Yeah, love them or hate them, you can't shoot them, unfortunately.
Yeah. Scaly's saying hello to Atoll. He's saying hello back. People saying hello to each other there. We got... Pole lines in. I nearly called you Phil again.
Hey Phil,
hi,
Paul,
mate.
Paul, Phil,
Phil,
Paul,
right.
Phil.
Richard,
you could call him Fall and it'd be in the middle.
Richard Pezzle's in, saying hello, Colin Fox and everyone else. Hello, Richard. I hope you're doing all right, pal. Felice is in, saying good evening. Hello, Phil. Atoll's asking Sarah Jane what bottle she's drinking tonight. Well, good for you, mate. Sarah Jane has thumbed up tonight. Lovely, thank you, very glad.
Oh, yes.
Paul Lines says, I'm afraid Lynn can't come into work this week and she's suffering from a severe case of CBA. Can't be asked. Lynn's recovery requires sitting down and drinking Dr. Pepper.
That's a good professional work.
That is a really good note of professionalism for the boss man there. I'm super impressed. Sarah saying hello to Lynn. Also saying hello to Atoll. She's apparently is still on the Malibu and asking him why he's still up. There you go.
Yeah,
Jamie Bones in, saying hello to everyone.
Hey,
hello, Jamie. Hope you're all right, mate.
Yep.
And he's in over at Mayhem Model Works, saying hello to Wendy. Edward Leonard's in, saying good evening, Colin and Fox and everyone else.
I've got to do it.
Yeah.
It's the universal symbol for squishies.
Oh, that, honestly, mate, do you know, I can see them CGI in that in the next Abyss movie. Jellyfish, there it is.
Jellyfish. Or dead jellyfish.
What about an excited jellyfish? Now that looks so very wrong.
I've not got the angle right for you guys.
Candygram says, I seem to have acquired a spanner. Thanks, Festa. Not a problem, mate. Yeah, I was having issues last week when I tried doing it because YouTube kept putting up the other Candygram from Mongo, but it finally got sorted during the week, mate. So,
how or why is there more than one Candygram from Mongo? I don't quite understand that.
Well, one is spelled all lowercase.
Yes.
As in our candy, and the other one is capital C, capital G, capital F, capital M.
Is that the same person, or is that just somebody else randomly?
I think it's a different person, yeah.
I mean, I know it's a Blazing Saddles reference, so it's not like going to be unique. But
yeah.
Candygram from Mongo. Mongo like candy.
Mongo happy.
Mongo is porn in Game of Life.
I used to work with a guy, we called him Mungo, and he didn't get it. I said, just watch Blazing Saddles, you will. And he come in the following day and went, yeah, Mungo happy. Yeah. Paul saying, hi to Jamie and Edward. But he says, nice to see you all just sitting down at the bench with jam and toast flavoured, excuse me, cup of tea, and it's not too bad, to be fair.
Hang on, with a jam on toast flavoured cup of tea. Does it mean he's got jam on toast?
I think he might be dunking it in the tea.
How do you dunking jam on toast in tea?
I would. See, when I go to my mum's, she says, oh, would you want some toasted, Mum? I'd love some. And she's like, do you want your soldiers? Of course I want me soldiers, Mum. Got to have me soldiers.
I can't imagine. I like jam on toast, and I don't mind a cup of tea, but I can't imagine dunking jam on toast in. It's weird. I'll have to try it.
I would, mate. I would. I'd happily
downside. Well, I can't though, because I can't have the tea, because I can't have the sugar, and I can't have tea without sugar, because that's just foul.
Yeah, and dare I say it, my memory of you making tea was quite funny.
I can make a very nice cup of tea if you've never drunk tea before.
Jamie Bone says, anyone know the closest colour match to British Racing Green? Oh, gold.
Now, does he mean British Racing Green or British Rail Green?
Well, yeah.
I'm assuming it's British Race. Yeah. I don't know. Plastic Monkey says to have a look at Tamiya X5, which I think is green of some sort, probably olive green.
Yeah, I mean, normally British Racing Green, I normally just buy a can of Alfred's spray paint and I decant it, mate, because that's all I've done in the past, Jamie, if it's the British Racing Green you're after, because I did that when I did my E-Type Jack, mate, just decanted it.
Caliban Green is a good Citadel colour that's very similar.
Ah, there you go then.
Yes, but obviously you can't spray that. I was going to say, don't forget though, if you're building the model just for your own pleasure and you're not putting it into a competition, it doesn't really matter if it's not spot on.
Exactly.
Go for whatever looks about right to you. Unless you're going to exhibit it in a competition and you want to win, then if you're just doing it for yourself and your own shelf, just go for the colour that looks good enough to you. Absolutely.
Mayhem says, this evening we commence with Tankularity and Fox plays with his puppies.
Look at the Tankularity.
Tankularity, that's a good one. Sergeant Bones is in saying, oi, oi. How do, Sarge?
Oi, oi. Free for a pound. Say it, Cole.
Freight for a pound. Get your Sarges here. Freight for a pound.
That's our new Colin phrase, free for a pound.
Yeah, don't get nothing for a pound, not on this stall.
Nope. Oh, darling, free for a pound.
Jamie Monkey says, I think, to Plastic Monkey, I think that might be quite light, as I've seen the Umbral colour with an H, and it looks a bit darker.
Jamie Monkey, you say?
Jamie Bone, even. It says to Monkey.
Jamie Monkey.
Sergeant saying hello to Andy and Dad.
Hello, Sergeant Bones. What's up?
Old Philly says, no, it's the actual tea that is flavoured, Yorkshire tea.
So it's actually flavoured jam and toast. Oh, okay, that's interesting then.
That is. How did they get the flavouring right?
They probably just dunked jam and toast into it.
Yeah. Mayhem's telling Paul to put down his blunderbuss, and Jamie Bones clarifying by saying it's British Rail Green. Oh, gold. Mate, that's going to be a Google search then, mate, to get your colour right.
That's going back to your proper, like, Flying Scotsman thing colour, isn't it? That's that kind of green.
Yeah. It might be worth going on to some of the Ormby sites or chat groups and rail chat groups and just saying, here, folks, what's the closest? But Google search might give you a selection, mate. Yeah,
but for something like that, then absolutely your railway enthusiast websites, perhaps your miniature railway enthusiasts.
Yeah, because they're a bit
railway modelers. They will be the best bet because they know all the things.
Oh yeah, they can spot a poor colour choice a mile away and all, can't they?
They'll be like, I think you'll find that the correct colour is in fact Pantone 42475, which I think for most manufacturers you will find is Humbrol or whatever.
Sergeant Bones says he's got vanilla cookie tea.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
I've got a special tea called coffee.
Is that one of Spiddy's concoctions or one of your own?
Oh, God, no, it's instant. It's Dawag, but it's gold special leaf standard, whatever it's called, gold label. I don't do the Ponzi pushy squishy thing. I can't be bothered with that nonsense.
Oh, let's. I'm just going to switch over webcams and see what we can come up with. If my webcams play, that is.
You appear to have stopped dead in your tracks.
Yeah, it's just StreamYard's been a bit awkward with me.
Have you noticed how it always sticks on a really gormless shot as well?
Yeah.
It never sticks when you're just looking normal. It always sticks when you've got like a gormless... It does it on me. It always sticks when I've got a gormless look on my face. And I'm on my own. Welcome, everyone. It's Sunday. It's Warhammer... No, it's not really. He's just... There we go. He's back now.
Oh, yeah, I am back. It's just StreamYard is messing with me cameras a little bit.
Oh, my God. Would you look at all those sponsons?
I know. I can leave it on that one, or I can try sideways. But being that I've got one working, I might just stick with what
That's
I've got.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see 7 distinct turrets.
Oh, there's loads of turretage going on, mate.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
That's a significant turret
That's
count.
That's a significant amount of bits and bobs and odds and greebles and stuff.
I heard you like guns, so I'm going to put some guns on your guns and then give them guns on top of those guns.
Yeah, so we've been doing a bit of scratch building with it as well, and gap filling and things. Because
What have you been up to? What you've been doing?
well, I'm kind of using all the turret or all the top bits, whatever they're called, and
The top bits.
Yeah, I've been chopping them up so that I can add and do different bits because it's been orcified. See,
Is the white stuff? What's that filler and plastic card and stuff?
styrene, bits of sprue goo, bits of filler.
I've got Dolly Parton in my head now. Styrene.
Styrene. Yeah,
Steady. Copyright. That's why I stopped after one.
But yeah, it's a work in progress because it's been suitably alked. My mission is anything and everything that came in the box, plus the extras, is going to be assembled and attached to this Baneblade.
Oh, just imagine how many big, massive cannons you can put on it then.
Yeah. So
You've got like the big dual storm Gatling cannons. You've got the big Baneblade cannon.
I've got that one under there. I've got that one with the big bushy bush thing on the front.
You're a bit off the side of the screen there, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to build it, mate.
Oh, right.
Because I've got a bench full of goodies.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
So you got that one.
Yeah.
What else have we got? We got that. Oh, yeah, I didn't want that. Got that one to go in there.
Yeah.
That one to go on there.
Yeah.
We then got all of these with turrets on the top and all to go around the sides.
You could stick more guns onto that little stubby gun on the glasses plate, the volcano cannon.
Oh, yeah. So there's going to be loads more to go on, mate.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, it's going to be serious gunnage, mate.
And then what are you doing about all your extra bits? Like, are you making lots of little sheet metal and stuff like that? And...
yeah, I've got loads of stuff to come off the resin printer. So that's going to have a load of stuff printed. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just going to zoom out on that webcam just to give people a bit more of a view because...
It's a shame you haven't got any little orky figures that you can actually fit into the turret.
There are going to be figures getting resin printed.
Oh, jolly good. What orky types?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And that webcam seems to have gone stationary as well.
Oh, dear.
Okay. I might have to do a refresh on StreamYard in a
Oh,
second.
my life. Does that mean stopping and starting everything?
No, that just means me doing an F5 refresh.
You mean just falling out like I fall out sometimes?
Yeah, because it's just been a bit gash. 2 secs, mate. Back to set.
Go for it. I can carry. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. I'm on the side cam now. How's that, folks?
That's fine. That is.
Yeah, I'll leave it on now. I'm not going to mess with anything else.
Don't touch anything now. Don't touch no buttons, no nothing.
StreamYard's not liking my cameras tonight for some reason, and I don't know why.
Don't be pressing no buttons, no nothing either. All right.
So I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully that's clear enough for you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Cool.
cool.
Just
Cool.
have a
Paul
move
Di
around.
Tommaso is in. He says, "Hello, ladies. Welcome.
Hello, Paul. Hope
And
you're
Sarah
doing all
Jane
right, mate.
Sarah Jane is about to go and have a bacon sandwich, and I hate everything now because I haven't got any bacon sandwiches.
Oh,
And that's not a good state to be in without a bacon sandwich.
no. So yeah, I've got 4 of these done. So, or 3 of them done. I'm just doing the 4th.
Is this
I've
the
got
one with the
another-
Sponson turrets?
Yeah, I've got another 2 of these due because I've ordered the extra sprue. It's just delayed getting through. And I'm just doing some guns for this one.
Sun's out, guns out.
Yeah, I've got extra barrels to go on it because you kindly got me some extra sprues, didn't you?
Have you rolled out the barrels?
Yeah, rolled out the barrels. I think
That was rubbish.
yeah, I was trying to big it up, mate.
I know you're trying to be polite, but just lie to me. It's just
Yeah, it was great. It was brilliant, mate. Loved it. Absolute crowd stopper.
the thing that kills it is when you go at the end.
Yeah,
It was brilliant.
So yeah, I plan on getting all of this on there somehow. I'm not sure how yet. Loads of extra plates.
The magic. I'm just adjusting my cutting mat. Sorry. The magic of positioning and sticking and gluing.
Yeah, and it is. It's one of them because I want to do it justice because obviously you and Dad got me this, and
Yeah.
you know. But like I say, when you said about orcifying it up, it's given me a sense of freedom with it.
Hang on, I'm just going to adjust my headset because I'm losing you. 1 sec. Do. 1 second. I can't hear a word you're saying.
That's all right.
Right, talk to me, darling.
Oh, you wonderful spiffing hero of mine you are.
Oh yes, I heard that. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go. I thought you would.
I did say lie to me, didn't I?
I did.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. So, yeah, when you said about orcifying it, it was, yeah, it does open up a wealth of possibilities, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, because I can't believe I've just said I need. I've just looked at 2 parts I need and gone straight to them on the sprue with instant second. I'm like, that's not normal.
No, that's not normal at all. You sure you're all right?
I should be hunting for them. Yeah, no, that's the beauty of orc stuff because it is just literally junk and stuff they found on the battlefield.
Yeah.
That they stick together with string and bolts
exactly.
and,
it's all been looted and boom.
Yeah. Of course, you do realise you're going to have to paint a whole shed load of checkers all over it.
Yeah, I don't mind that because originally, don't forget, I was going to do it Berlin camo, so it's actually an easier paint job.
That's true.
So, yeah, I kind of listened to Fox's wisdom. Things I
wouldn't.
Cool.
God, I wouldn't listen to my wisdom.
Wisdom.
My wisdom's the worst wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom and Fox. Have I got this right?
My wisdom is the wisdom of arse. It's just nonsense.
But no, it made perfect sense to be quite honest with you. And
Wait, that can't be my wisdom then. That really can't be my wisdom.
No. I went and did a bit of Googling and yeah, so...
there you go. That makes more sense. Everybody else's wisdom, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
it's
going to open up possibilities for more Warhammer builds. I can see it. I'm firmly in that.
What's your plan for the figures? Have you got... you know the difference between like the orcs and the grots, don't you? The Gretchens.
No, got no idea, mate.
The orcs are the big dudes with the great big square jaws.
Right.
The big bruiser, and the Gretchens and the grots are the little tiny ones.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're like a subspecies, so they're really small and they're a bit stupid.
Yeah.
So, if you've not got any planned, you want some orcs on that, but you also want it like have little Gretchens, or you call them grots, all over it.
Yeah.
Grots tend to be like, they'll be in charge of some of the smaller weapons, or they'll be like running around with oil cans and stuff.
Oh,
like
they're the gophers, basically, then.
Yeah, they're like minions.
Yeah.
And they usually...
Go for that, go for this, go for that.
Yeah, they're usually like hanging off weapons, and occasionally they'll actually accidentally fire themselves out of the cannon, you know, because they're idiots.
Oh, right, yeah, it's sensible then, just like me.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah. But no, I'm just looking forward to that period of time when I can attach all the guns and weapons to said Baneblade at once, because I want to make Baneblade noises.
So you actually want to use all the weapons in the entire kit?
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm going for everything. It's orc or nothing.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I remember seeing I don't know who it was in the boom hut, I can't remember. But they put up a picture of their orc Baneblade. And what they'd done is they'd taken the Baneblade cannon, the big gun on the main turret, and they cut it down the middle, split it down the middle like that. So imagine you've got your cannon there, and they split it down the middle like that.
Yeah.
And then they jammed another cannon into it.
Oh, that'd be Max McGuinn.
Yeah, that's Max, isn't it? And then he jammed another one into it, and then covered it in barbed wire as if they'd split it and cobbled it. And I was like, that is genius.
Yeah, that's Max, that is, yeah.
That's Max, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite remember the name there. Good remembrance.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely mint job he's done on that.
Yeah. And as well, it gives you an excuse to use your corrugated sheet metal rolling device.
Absolutely, because, yeah, the corrugated sheet metal device of goodness will be employed.
It'll get a lot of work out of that orc stuff.
Yeah, just thinking of all that boomage that's going to be coming along just through that stage. I mean, plus all the turretage going on all the sponsons around the sides, Fox.
Oh.
Yeah, you know you want to.
So I'm just thinking that big volcano thunder, what is it called? The big ground shaking cannon, the little stubby thing on the front.
That one?
That one. I think it's called a volcano cannon. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I like the way Chris, when he did his, he just jammed one of the big turrets into it.
Yeah.
So it was like a big long turret.
Yeah, like that.
He's just stupid in it.
Yeah, but it's boomability, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because all of this has been built, and it's like, build everything, and then figure out a way of slamming in the lamb and getting it all on there.
Slamming in the lamb. What's a real shame is that you can't just buy... See, what would be great is you can buy sets of, like, grots and orcs and stuff. But what's a shame is you can't just buy a box of squigs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean like squigs that people ride around on, like the orcs ride around, because they're like, but I mean the little squigs, because there's all different types of squigs. There's bomb squigs and bitey squigs that they use as weapons. They fire them out of guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And it'd be great to have like a bit like the Rooker Truck squig buggy, have squigs all over it.
Yeah.
Like in a little mesh box, like, you know, we said last time, you've got the little mesh like stowage bins.
Yes.
And fill that full of squigs.
Oh, mate, you've got to do it.
As if they're there ready to be fired out of a cannon, but you can't actually buy packs of squigs like that.
It's knowing which way to go with it, isn't it? It's like, you sort of think to yourself, I know what I want to try and do, and it's just doing it right. It's just fitting everything in, but, you know, super duper long boomsticks, and that's probably going to go on the front somewhere, big Gatling gunnage of goodness.
Oh, yeah, that's the Storm Bolters, I think they are.
Yeah, so, I'm thinking round about somewhere like that, just on the front in there.
Yeah.
Giving it a bit of the, you want some of this, do you?
What bit of that, do you? Free for a pound.
So, it's figuring out where everything's going to go, and
wherever you want it to.
Because obviously I've got to do electronics, I've got to put the little motors in to turn the turrets and all of that lot, so I want it quite accessible to achieve that. So I'm at that, put the magnets in and figure out how everything's going to join together stage, so it'll get there.
I think for anyone who hasn't already squeed at them, I think you need to show your tiny little motors again.
My tiny little motors, I've just
for anyone that hasn't had the chance to squee at them.
Oh yeah, they are worth it.
Because Colin Festa wants to motorise the little sponson guns, which nobody really does because they're so small. But yet, he has a plan. He's a man with a plan.
I have a cunning plan. I will get the tweezers of Shodness.
Tweezers of pingage and picking things up.
You know you only want to see these because you think they're cute.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's kind of... I wish Ted was here because he goes all moist when you show your little motor.
Oh, yeah. The plan is to motorise these turrets.
Which are the size of, tiny.
Yeah. And I may have got the tiniest little motors.
Ping swearing.
That will then sit under there.
I didn't even know motors that small were a thing. That's just...
I motorise the turret, see? And I know Fox really loves them, so...
See, electric stuff scares me, but little tiny motors. The only time I've seen motors smaller than that, I remember the same size, I like in scale electric cars, but they're about the same size, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's got a tiny little gear on it as well, little tiny brass gear.
That's awesome. Yeah, that bigger than is that kind of scale electric size or bigger, do you think? Smaller than that,
no, it's about scale electric size, mate.
Yeah.
But so that's then going to go up through the hole of goodness there, just behind the guns. Mm-hmm. And bzz, bzz. I even did the motory noise.
It's going to look fantastic, but what's going to be hilarious is when you actually turn it on. When you show it on video, of course, you can take the sound out, but in real life, you turn it on and be like, zzz, make all this noise, all the motors going all the time. You never see that on people's videos when they motorise stuff. They always edit the sound out. And
I've got a little remote control keypad as well that's going to operate it all, so I'll be able to sit here with a remote going, look, I've got loads of buttons to press. Look at this, Ted. And then there'll be smoke coming out from underneath it as it catches fire.
Yes. And if you can get it to play radio at the same time, get it so you can stick a memory stick in there, a thumb drive, and it can play tunes and stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's going to have a little tiny, either a small Arduino little tiny Arduino Nano, which is in there. So it's just going to literally be the board on its own.
Cool.
And everything will run off of that. See, and that's just going to tuck in underneath said side panel. And power everything.
You need to fill it with tiny little speakers, like loads of them, so that when it makes the gun sound, it's this loud booming sound.
Oh, you mean speaker of goodness?
Yeah.
Which just so happens, that there is one. Not that I've given it any thought.
No. Good lad. Yeah. How's that for bassiness, or is it dead tinny?
No, that's bassiness.
Oh, good lad.
That one, yeah.
There's nothing worse than when somebody builds something with sound, but they put a little crappy PC speaker in. It's like, really?
No. That may at some point be introduced into the build. You know what I'm like.
In fact, should we just cut to the chase? Should you just make it into a PC case?
Yeah,
you might as well.
That would be funny, wouldn't it? Shoehorn in a
where's
PC.
Your computer? It's in the great big tank, in the MBT.
Yeah. See that Baneblade over there? Yeah, that's my PC.
Yeah. Our computer's an MBT. What's MBT? Massive big tank. Okay.
He's got a PC and a Baneblade.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've got
what are we in? 25 minutes in, and I've just finished cleaning up one bolter. Fantastic.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, not that good. I did my first Imperial Night live stream today. Do you know how much I got done?
How much?
I built half of 2 legs.
For you, that's good, actually.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I built like half of one leg, and then I built half the other leg.
Yeah.
I got my gams sorted out.
I am actually surprised you got that much done.
Yeah, it's quite a miracle. And that was with me doing talking and everything. So
yeah, that's an epic build for you, mate. So yeah, keep up the good work, mate.
Excellent. Now, we have to talk about your paint scheme, don't we?
Yeah, this is going to be the yellow Bad Moon Orcs paint scheme.
That's it. You want to go for the Bad Moon clan.
And it's going to have the checkers on there and all of that lot as well, as you so kindly reminded me before we went live.
It's kind of like the American yellow cab, sort of yellow with black and white checkers.
Yes.
It's kind of Bad Moons. But then you've got the Bad Moon symbol and stuff.
And it's just sorting out all my paints and all of that lot, which, is all part of me doing a bit of research.
Yeah. But it doesn't, I mean, it depends what you're going to do. Are you going to airbrush it? Are you going to brush paint it? How are you going to...
I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of just brush painting it, because Orcs would just have any old tins of paint, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I do find brush painting things a million times less stressful than airbrushing, but then you can't do your pre-shading then, so...
This is the thing. So I might pre-shade with the airbrush and put the first initial base of yellow down with the airbrush, and then brush paint everything else onto it.
Yeah, you're going to cover up your pre-shading though then.
Yeah, it's...
You could do... if you're going to brush paint it, you could do...
I was post-shade it though.
You could do the post-shading with all the dry brushing like I used to. But the only trick is yellows can get quite textury.
Yeah.
If you go too far. So if you're going to do that, I would stick to just a base yellow colour and a highlight. I wouldn't do yellow, a highlight and a second highlight. I wouldn't go that far. Because when I did my little Ridge Runner, my little fridge raider, that was a base yellow, a medium yellow, and then a highlight yellow, and it got quite textury by the end of it, very subtly.
But less is more in it, in a lot of it.
I mean, I would say something like, I mean, as a base, you want Avalanche Sunset regardless.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is if you're using Citadel paints. If you're using Vallejo paints, it doesn't matter. But
no, I'll show you Citadels on it.
Well, if you're brushing it, whatever primer you go for Avalanche Sunset as your base colour.
Yeah.
Just because it's a nice thick opaque base colour. And then if you want to, you can use that as your base yellow colour, or you can just completely cover it over with a lighter colour yellow.
Yeah.
After Avalanche Sunset, I don't really know because I'm not familiar with it. It's my advice is crap, isn't it? Let me get me.
It is a bit.
After I'd use Avalanche Sunset as your base colour, and after that, well, you're on your own anyway.
Yeah.
After that, you're on your own, son. So you can do Avalanche Sunset, which is it's that colour yellow. It's a nice mustardy yellow.
Oh, right, yeah.
But even if you don't want to use that as your actual base yellow colour, you should use this just to block in the colour, so you're covering up your primer colour.
Yeah.
if you're using a light coloured primer, it doesn't really matter. But all the yellows that aren't base paints are quite streaky and thin.
Yeah.
So it depends if you want to go. There are other yellows, but I would, if you want a bright yellow, like that kind of yellow.
Yeah.
Then you could do Avalanche Sunset as your base, just to block in the colour.
Yeah.
Then you could either completely cover it with Uriel yellow,
mm-hmm.
which is quite thin and streaky, or you could just use that as a highlight colour and just dry brush it over to get your post shading effect.
Oh, nice.
And then if you wanted an extra highlight on top of that, you could use Phalanx yellow, which is a real bright, but you have to be really careful because it's really bright lemony.
Oh, that's brighter than a bright lemony.
Yeah, so that would be like, yeah, if you were doing a dry brush post shading effect, it'd be a real subtle bit for the middle bit. But then if you're doing chipping later on, you've got Dawn yellow.
Oh,
that's a great chipping colour for these.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, you paint the light colour chip and then you put the rust or the brown or the grey bit inside it.
That's right, yeah.
If you're doing that, that's a brilliant colour for yellow chips. Dawn
Gives
yellow.
it a contrast.
Yeah. But there are other yellows in the range as well. They're the ones I've got that I can tell you off the top of my head. If you're airbrushing, it doesn't really matter about using Avalanche Sunset as a base colour.
It's one of them. I think it would be easier to brush it myself. Nice thin coats.
Nice thing. I mean, it would be. It would actually be easier to airbrush it, but it'd be less fun, I think.
Yeah.
I can't get this paint to go back in now. It's a challenge. I can almost get all the paints in this drawer into this drawer, but not quite.
Oh,
So
is this the game of Jenga now, is it?
Yeah, it's like reverse Jenga. I've got to somehow get them all to go in without exploding. You've got to rotate them around. It's like playing. There was that game where you had to like turn the combination things on it. It was like a Connect 4, but with like combination locks. You had to turn them all. And
oh yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was called. It was called something. I'll just put that like that because I've lost the will to remember it now.
Pardon me.
That wasn't a spider pig.
That was a belch. Spider pig is probably going to happen at some point.
Spider pig, spider pig.
Spider pigs always happen, you know me.
Yeah, that's why you've got the name.
Absolutely. That's why I've got the name and the picture now. This
gentleman appears to now be missing an arm.
Oh dear.
Because I farted about with that drawer. Oh, there it is. I found that arm. It's there. We're ignoring the chat, aren't we? We're quite rude.
Jamie Bone says, with your remodels build, where did you get the figures and did you paint the figures? As I watched the next part and it looks like they weren't painted. No, I resin printed them and they've had one base coat of white with a slight bit of light camo and then the rest of it's getting done once the dio's finished, mate.
Ah, right. But it's the kind of thing you probably wouldn't talk about too much on the video because it's not something your model sells, so...
No, that's right.
Yeah, so don't expect him to sort of discuss them in any great detail.
Yeah, because that's all, how can I say, garnish that I've added myself. Not that I've pulled.
It's like when I did that AML 90, which was the trumpet, the little trumpeter kit, whatever it was, the little French armoured vehicle. I did a load of Warhammer figures with it. I did kind of show them, but I didn't go into too much detail because they didn't sell Warhammer at that point.
That's it. So. I'm mindful of the fact that the figures are my own prints. A bit like if I was to have used my own decals.
Yeah,
I would have sort of just applied them. This is what I'm doing, but where they come from and their origin, I would have just kept guarded because
or you just going to say these figures I printed them myself on my 3D printer, and that's because they can't sell them. So Paul Di Tommaso says, "Oh, one could use those little motors to motorize props on various plane kits."
Yes, I was going to send some up to Steve at the time when he was doing his aircraft. I think it was his Shackleton, but he had already sourced some. So,
is this what Steve Spencer Beanie?
Yeah.
Not Steve B3, because
no, it's Steve Spencer Beanie. Yeah. But no, you can fit them in the engine housings of aircraft, mate. Yeah.
And do you know how much they are? Free for a pound.
That bag, I think, was about £6. I think it worked out about 80p a motor. Something stupid like that when I got them, but I've had them a while.
So it's not free for a pound then?
Nah, so
you could have just gone with it and said they were free for a pound.
Yeah, free for a pound, folks. But yeah, where the world's been on fire, it's kind of everything's gone up in price.
You get, don't you? Yeah.
There you go. So that's an initial initial bit of closage figured out for that. So that
Sergeant Bone says Germany is worse. It's like all the crisps are paprika flavour. It's a treat finding salt and vinegar here. I have to tell you, I had never really had paprika that I knew of until I had some paprika crisps.
Oh, right.
And I really liked them. So I bought many, many little pots of Schwartz paprika seasoning.
Yeah.
I now hate paprika because I put it on everything, and now it's like, bleh.
Yeah, it's like you've overkilled it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done. Now I put it on. It's like if I'm making me and Mama Fox like a simple dinner, and it might be say sausage and chips, I'll just open a tin of Heinz macaroni cheese, just like the little macaroni tubes and the cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Instead of having beans or something. But what I'll do is I'll just sprinkle some paprika into it just to make it a bit pink.
Oh,
because
right,
I'm so used to the flavour that I don't taste it anymore. So now it's just a colour option. It just makes things a bit pink.
Don't be like Fox, folks.
Yeah, but my big thing at the minute is, I don't know how you pronounce it, cumin.
Oh, right, yeah.
Sprinkling. Ever since I realised that Bombay Bad Boy pot noodle and Doner Kebab pot noodle, their entire flavour is just cumin.
Oh.
Because I had occasion to have some cumin sprinkled on some food, and it instantly tasted like a Bombay Bad Boy. I'm like, that's so cheap and tacky that their entire flavour of a Bombay Bad Boy is just cumin. So, yeah, cumin's my big thing at the minute. Is it cumin, or I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's cumin. Cumin.
Hey, don't ask me to pronounce stuff.
The Americans probably pronounce it oregano or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not the best person to ask you to pronounce things, am I?
Yeah.
Goes well otherwise.
Yeah, you can't even pronounce pronunciation.
Yeah, that's the word.
Let's have a look.
It's a thing, isn't it?
What's chat doing? I could start a business exporting crisps around the world, says Scale Modelling Chaos.
Yes, you could do.
Mayhem says about my building today, give yourself credit, Fox, I was expecting a foot. 2 feet. Apparently Athol's left us, he's gone to bed, so good night, Athol.
Night,
I
mate.
think we missed him. Remember, Cole, you can avoid the checkers and go for triangles or squiggly lines instead. Don't tell him he can paint flames on. He won't do checkers then. God damn it. Yeah. Yes, you can also do like flames. A lot of the yellow vehicles have black flames painted on them.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, like you get on a hot rod, the kind of flame effect. They look like, the kind of stupid curly flames that they have on hot rod cars.
Yeah.
They don't look like flames, but it's quite popular. When I used to work in car detailing, my partner at the time was trying to encourage me to learn how to... We were trying to figure out how to do like proper panel lining with the panel lining brush on cars and stuff. And he was like, we need to be able to paint flames and things. And he was trying to learn and teach me trying to learn himself how to paint proper like hot rod flames.
Yeah.
And I was like, they look stupid. Yeah. They don't look like flames. He's like, yeah, but this is what they look like. And I'm like, yeah, but they look stupid. Yeah, they're like curly. It's not
1974 anymore.
No, but I mean, I know it's the traditional hot rod flames, but they just look like curly tattoo thing. I never.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a bit too easy rider, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's kind of one of the reasons I got out of that job in the end was he wanted to go into. He was getting into like car customization. I'm like, I have no interest in that.
No.
I'm not. I didn't want to be, painting Model T Fords and things like that. I kind of went off the job.
It's one of them, and it's your niche, and it's what you're used to doing, what you want to paint. And
well, I was just happy with the detailing side of it, but he wanted to get into car custom work, and he started doing some stuff with a place in Wales that does like custom hot rods and stuff. And it's interesting, don't get me wrong, but I knew it wasn't anything I was had any skill in.
No.
I'm like, I don't want to do this. I haven't got the abilities to,
It's also one of them things, if it don't appeal to you, no matter how much you force yourself to try to learn it, you're not going to enjoy doing it.
Oh, yeah. Like spending 2 weeks taking the paint off a 1939 Cadillac was so unenjoyable before then painting it. But we spent 2 weeks getting all the paint off and stripping it down, and then we painted it. And the paint job was terrible. It came up like it was like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of still learning at that point, and It wasn't the best finish in the world. It had lots of fish eyes and bubbles. We know why. It was just various reasons it fish eyed and it had a little issue. We had to strip it back again. It's like, oh, I'm sick of this flipping car now.
Yeah, you look at the car and you're like, yeah, that's 50 Shades of Ass.
Yeah. And then they also had this like Model T that they were doing up, and it's like we started kind of taking all the paint off that, but there was a lot of repair work needed doing to it as well.
Yeah.
And you could tell that my heart wasn't in it, and he didn't really want to do it now, but this point because we took us longer and longer and longer, and we kept getting nowhere stripping this paint off. And we're just like, yeah, this is not what I want to be doing now.
Yeah, how much of a will to live have you lost? Yeah, all of it. All of it.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus he also turned into not a very nice person, so I left.
Yeah, you don't need that.
No. So I was like, you know what? I'm walking out now. Bye.
Yeah. So,
also, sorry, you've now got a room full of cars you need to detail. Sorry about that. Yeah, bye.
So glad I'm not you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you treat your mates like crap, your mates tend to walk away.
Yes.
And leave you in the schmutz.
Oh, yes. I had a sidekick like that when I was in the industry. Like, yeah.
Never. All I can say is, don't make your mate your boss. It doesn't work.
No.
Or if it might work, but it doesn't always work. And if it doesn't work, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, and employing family as well.
Yeah, but that's the worst thing you can possibly do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, never employ your sister, because sisters always beat their brothers up.
Yeah.
And you're always wrong, and it never works. What are you doing? I can hear construction sounds at your end.
Me, I am moving components around so that I can have some room to work in, because I'm I've got myself a bit tight for space.
So what you're saying is you forgot to do all this before you went live?
Yeah, I kind of was in a hangout with Mike, Sue and Paul and kind of lost track of time.
You were like, oh, goodness gracious me, look at the time.
And it's, in 13 minutes I'm going to be live. And it was like, okay, I need to make beverage. And
it was 20 minutes to go and I'm in the little chat and I'm like, hey, Carl, I'm ready when you are. And it's like, I'm just making a brew. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that means you're just running to get ready now, aren't you?
Yeah, it was a bit lastminute.com, but
I had fun today doing the e-model stream because I read about schoolboy error. You know the new YouTube setup, don't you?
Oh yes.
So I press go in Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Because I use Streamlabs on the streamer by myself. Which streams to use? So I press go.
Yeah.
But what I'd forgotten to do, because I had set up a new stream and a new stream key in for the stream today.
Yeah.
What I'd forgotten to do is tick the little box that says auto start and auto stop.
Okay.
So I press play, and I'm 10 minutes into my pre-roll. I'm like, why is there no stream? Where's the stream? And I wasn't even. I'm like, why is nothing happening? Oh. So then I had to go back in and quickly adjust it and say, hey everyone, give it another 10 minutes.
Yeah, one of those I'll get my coat moments.
Yes, I know what I'm doing. / don't know what I'm doing really.
I'm so glad it's not just me that this all happens to.
Oh no, I was just glad that I managed to figure it out live on air within minutes.
When I had I came from the hangout, hit the live or to go into the StreamYard button, my webcams died.
Yep.
I was like, okay, that's a good start. This is, just coming from an hangout where everything was working. So, yeah, so I rebooted the system and it was like, yeah, okay, and still only had 2 webcams. Okay, let's unplug, replug and play with it, and eventually we got it working. But
yeah, eventually it all came good.
Yeah, but it was one of those, it's like, really?
You're going to do this to me now?
Yeah.
Just going to give me 1 second, dude. I'm just going to mute my microphone for a sec.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Let's have a little looky-loo in the chat. Candygram says, I can't help wondering if Mike Scaly Models might have poured a little something into Psycho's fish tank a bit earlier. Yeah, he was getting harangued by him. Edward Leonard's saying to Fox that you pronounced it right. It's used in a lot of Spanish food. What's that say? Cumin is great in chili. Oh, dear. Oh, is that Mike in the background? Do I need to add you to the stream?
Oh, we're getting Dad in. We're getting a Dad blip.
Yeah, I think he's doing his chat dollying bit.
Yay. Hey, Dad. Mama Fox says good night. She's just gone to bed.
Oh, good night, Mama Fox.
She said to send you her love.
Oh, bless her. Happy days.
Yeah.
Is that Morgan Mountain in the background? That'll be a pass. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there he is.
Can you hear me, little mother?
I can hear you, mother.
Hello, Mr. Mountain.
Hello, Foxy Hugs.
Dad hugs.
And of course, Mike's never mentioned the fact that he is the only one who had a hug from Mama Fox.
Yeah. Did you?
He's
Did
never
he?
mentioned
How
it
did,
yet.
how did you find out about that, Colin?
You might have told me.
I don't normally fun that about, you know. It's,
Even I didn't
no.
know that.
You not keep it yourself, don't you, mate?
Yeah.
Got mud flaps of goodness as well.
Oh yeah, you got your 3D printed shenanigans, haven't you?
Oh yeah, so I've got all of that to go on.
I found a guy on Shapeways, and I know you'll be cursing me now because you'll be like, I can just print it for you. There's a guy on Shapeways who specifically designed add-on bits for Imperial Knights.
Oh right, yeah.
And one of them is specifically to make a Space Wolves Imperial Knight.
Oh.
And I've got the feet and I've got the head here. I bought them a couple of years ago, but he's still around. But I'm going to get all the other bits, but they're not cheap. But it means you can basically have, instead of the Ponzi Imperial Knight head, you can have a Space Wolf's head on your Imperial, which is basically a giant puppy head.
Yeah.
Right, with growly teeth and everything.
So is that could you 3D print me one of these requests?
No. I'll buy it from this guy on Shapeways. It's not, you can't download the STL file.
Right. It's, yeah.
He sells them, basically. That's his
Yeah.
living. He sells them. So, so I've got the head, I've got the head, and I've got the feet. But they do the big knights, but he also does the little armages, you know, the little baby knights.
Yeah.
And you can get little. Normally, they're like four-way feet. They've got like a front bit and then two side bits and a back bit. So it's like a cross shape.
Yeah.
But he does the feet, so it's a proper like digitigrade foot with three bits at the front.
Oh.
And on the armor jet, they look so adorable because it's little tiny sort of puppy feet
Yeah.
on these 25-foot tall mobile suits, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to get them because I've got some armigers because I want to do all my Space Wolves, don't I? So
Oh yeah. It's very
I may have to have a Space Wolves Imperial Knigget, I think. Paul Di Tommaso says, lol, the crazy fish is in the house because Psycho Fish is indeed in there. He says, hello, Dad, I hope you are doing well.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Psycho
yeah.
Fish is mad.
He's mad.
And I have to say, in all honesty, we still don't know who Psycho Fish is.
No.
People
No.
think it's an in joke, but it's not. We don't know who it is.
Nope.
Maybe it really is Psycho Fish.
Yeah.
Well,
Could well be.
he's from across the pond anyway.
Yeah, we know that much.
We do know
He
that.
keeps throwing dollars at us, don't he?
Yeah.
Fox, you pronounced it right, says Edward about cumin. It's used in a lot of Spanish food. Cumin is great in chili. Yeah, I do like it. It's just that, but if you're in Britain and you know the pot noodle, either doner kebab or Bombay Bad Boy, it is 100%
Yeah.
the flavour is cumin. Colin, where did you buy the motors? Asks Paul Di Tommaso.
I got them off of a site on Fleabay.
Fleabay, bedibit. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm going to love this bit. I get to build the dude who's pulling the pistol out of his holster, if you pardon the expression.
Oh,
I went a bit blue for the dads there, didn't it?
it did. Got a joke for the grown-ups.
Right, so I need 30 and 70. So let me just do these bits first. Hang on, 30.
one
I've
for
been
the
waiting
mums
to do
and
this one because it
dads.
looks mint. Whenever you build Space Marines, there's always one that has an... I forgot to drill his barrel out again. Oh, I keep doing that.
Psycho has said he's not from across the pond, he's in the pond, silly.
I like that. Makes
See what
sense.
he did there.
Makes sense. I've just remembered, I think there's some barrels I had to drill from last time. May have to postpone the little man with his awesome... Yes,
Yeah, we
got
see
that
what he did
one.
there, Psycho.
Yes, 10 points. I like that.
There you go.
I
That's
think
that.
Psycho the Fish is really just a great big pussycat.
Yeah, there you go. That's that filled in. Lovely.
In fact, it's mixing my metaphors too much. Right,
Yes,
I have to
that
drill
is a
these barrels
tune.
out from last week, aren't I? Fox, you are pronouncing that right. Psycho Fish, all the blue, says Jamie Bone. Frankie Goes to Hobbywood is in, says good morning from work.
Hello,
Welcome,
Frankie. Hope you're doing all right. If your boss walks past, well, yeah, Frankie will be back in a minute. He's just gone to the loo.
Yes, if your boss walks past, you're watching. If your boss walks past, you're watching something on the Great Courses Plus. We're teaching you about some part of your business.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Great Courses Plus.
Yeah.
We do not sponsor this stream.
And we would make a point of telling your boss he is not skiving. He has been really, really busy.
Yep. Candygram says, I can't help wondering if Mike Scaly Models might have poured a little something into Psycho Fish's tank a bit earlier.
Yeah. There's a distinct possibility.
And Edward says, Jeff, I think he dropped a couple of Valiums in the tank.
Was there?
Psycho Fish says, I've seen Dad make a wicked bacon sarnie, but he didn't share.
Loads of plates.
Everybody saying goodnight to Mama Fox. Psycho says, feed me some brine shrimp. And Dad says, nope, Psycho, lights are out now. Time for sleep for you, mister.
Some gunnage. So I think we've got a bit of...
Jamie Bone asks, what's the best way to paint and weather coal in 00 gauge? What sale is 00 gauge?
70. No, it's not 72nd, is it?
I would say... I'm going to guess this is some sort of railway thing, isn't it? It's going to be like a coal tender.
Don't work with it, to be honest. So
I'm going to guess it's like a coal tender you've got there, Jamie, like a coal tender on a railway set with the coal in the tender. I would say... there's not really a lot you can do at that scale. If you want to replicate coal dust and like soot staining, just use a black dry brush. Or even, dare I say it, a Starship Filth or a very dark grey dry brush for like soot staining. If you're actually wanting to paint the coal itself, like in a coal tender,
yeah,
then what I would suggest is paint it matte black, but then go over it with some graphite very subtly. So get yourself, like, paint it a matte black colour, so it's all not shiny, and then get yourself some graphite, either from scraping down the graphite part of a pencil lead, or just if you've got a graphite stick. Get a little pile of graphite, get yourself a cotton bud or the finger, and just rub it over the coal that's in the coal tender. And what that will do is it won't discolour it, but it'll give it that little metallic sheen if you move it in the light. Because if you look at a piece of coal, it's kind of matte but has a shine to it.
Yeah.
So it'll trick the eye. It'll be like you could do it. You could do it very dark grey and give it a black wash, and then do the graphite over it. But the graphite will just give it that little sheen when you hold it in the right light to suggest coal in there. It's probably maybe a bit too small for that kind of effect, but that's one way of doing it. Rather than just painting it black, give it a little metallic twinge.
Yeah.
Because graphite's often what tank builders will use when they want to put little bits of weathering on tanks to suggest like metal, exposed metal on corners of tank armour plating.
Oh, so, yeah, graphite powder, yeah.
Yeah, so used very carefully, it can be a really effective way of reproducing that. So yeah, go and look at a piece of coal if you can. They're kind of a mixture of, the coal dust is matte, but the actual coal chunks can be shiny on the corners.
Yeah, something like Ushi van der Rosen or something like that.
Yeah. Or just like I say, the one thing I recommend everybody have in their modelling kit equipment box is a graphite pen. Is graphite stick.
Yeah.
I'll get one out in a second and show you. You can't beat having a graphite stick. Have I just drilled? Oh, I've just drilled a barrel and it's spot on, perfect in the centre. I've never done that before.
Oh, you legend!
I'm a leg end. That's just. I've gone a bit moist now and everything.
I'm impressed.
There's a bit of a trouser tent going on there with my amazing skills. I've never done that before. Oh, well, it's not quite, it's not exactly in the centre, but it's close enough.
It's good
That
enough.
is, I can't show on camera because it's too small, but that's just moistness creating, that is.
Moist.
So I thank Jamie Bone for distracting me with that question that made me drill the perfect barrel. Good lad. Right, graphite pencil.
Steve, we know what to do now, Jamie. Next time we want Fox to drill a barrel out, just ask him a question.
That is a graphite stick. It is a stick of graphite. This is a pencil with nothing apart from just the pencil. You can get them from, I think E-Models have got them in stock. You can get them off Amazon.
Yeah.
This is just a pit graphic. It's just literally a pencil with nothing else. It's just the bit in the middle of the pencil without the wood.
Yeah.
And all you do is you get yourself your blade and you scrape some off into a little pile, and then you can get it on your finger. If you've used it before, you know what it is. You get that kind of metal shine to it.
Yeah.
You can get it on your finger. You can rub it on. You can get it on a cotton bud. But just be aware, you can't varnish over graphite. I mean, you can.
Right. But it just ends up a bit of a mess, does it?
Well, no. If you try and varnish over graphite, it just becomes grey.
Ah, right.
It just becomes, even if you go over with the gloss varnish or matte varnish, it just becomes grey. So it loses that metallic look. So it'd be the last thing you do would be to rub some graphite. So that's when you see, like, that's why you don't see many people using graphite on tabletop miniatures like these, because you have to handle these.
Yeah.
So, but people that build like armour and tanks and stuff, they use it all the time because it's a display model. It's not going to get touched. So.
Jamie says, I will ask Fox all the questions. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to make him earn it.
Yeah. Oh, this one's... Oh, no, you see it's gone wrong now. This one's gone horribly wrong. Oh, dear.
Plastic Monkey put in the chat earlier, Fox, that he's got a box of Gretchens, a 10 in the box.
Who's got that?
Plastic Monkey.
Ooh. There you go, Cole. You might have to have a conversation with Plastic Monkey.
4.
Eh?
4?
You weren't listening, were you?
I wasn't, mate. I was cutting a circle out without amputating my finger.
I've just got to sort out this barrel. I've just messed up. Plastic Monkey's got a box of 10 Gretchens.
Oh, nice.
10 grots that you could acquire and put all over your Baneblade.
Pretty much. Can I have them? 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 Please, can I have them?
Was that in Wales, Carnarvon?
Yeah, Cole's in making models. Hello, Cole. How you doing, mate?
Evening. I may have messed up this barrel. I may have to amputate it.
No,
have
we got tomorrow's world style presentation that's gone horribly wrong here?
I may have recovered it. I don't know.
Damn you if you're recovering this.
I may have pulled the blinder. I went too close to the side and it risked knackering the side of the barrel, but I may have actually pulled the blinder. Hey, Carl. I may not get away with it completely, but yeah, I don't know.
But we don't make mistakes. We have happy little accidents.
Unless you mess up a bolter barrel, in which case you've just screwed it up. There's no way around it. I may have to amputate the barrel and replace it with another one if I've got a spare bolter somewhere.
Sounds like a plan.
It's not ideal. I don't think I've got a spare bolter lying around. I may not even have one in here, actually. I've got one, two. One. How many? 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 more dudes to build. How many bolters have I got?
Oh, you're doing
I might have
well,
a spare
mate.
bolter. I've got to do that one. 1, 2, 3.
There you go. Suitably recovered.
Okay, I might actually be able to get away with this.
Note to self: get yourself a circle cutter, Cole, because your circle cutting is.
Oh, I've got one.
Slow, painful death.
I got one the other day. I bought one. A circle cutter.
Oh, what, one of them display ones or whatever they're called?
Yeah, no, a little crappy cheap one off Amazon. I got myself some caliper measuring things.
Yeah, I've got a set of them.
The cheap plastic ones.
Vernier gauge.
Yeah, that's the ones. But they're cheap plastics. They're not that accurate.
Yeah.
But they'll do. And I got myself a little cheap, crappy plastic circle cutter thing, which I'll never have to cut a circle again now. But that's what I would use for my. I'm going to make a hazard guess that you're cutting out plastic circles for your Baneblade barrels, are you, by any chance?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are.
But yeah, I've got away with it with just running a bit of gooey sprue goo around the edges, and I shall put a bit of pigment on the edges.
Oh yeah. When I did mine, it was literally like cut them out and then just sand them mercilessly until they were about the right size.
Mine kind of I was using my Molotov pen lid as a rough diameter.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it
I
really is
drew
a
it
case
out
of
as a circle, but cut it out as a square, you know.
yeah, it really is a case of I need to get a circle cut. Yeah. Right. Luckily I've got a spare bolter. Thank the maker.
Oh, you're good.
So, because it's a duplicate sprue, so I think, unless I drop an enormous testicle, I think I can use the tip of this bolter to replace the tip of the other. I've done this before, it's a good way to get around. If you mess up a bolter, have a spare one.
Phil East is asking a question. Has anyone else had nothing but bad luck with army painter brushes? He got a set a while ago and they're terribly. Usually brushes last him ages, but these are gone after a few uses. No idea, mate. I mean, Cole's got a set there that he's had going strong for 3 years. So I've got no idea there, mate. I've not had an issue with any. So
no, I've had the Mega Brush set, and they were all right actually. They lasted me a good year or two, but you do have to look after them.
Yeah,
like the regiment brush and stuff.
Masters brush cleaner as well. If you haven't,
yeah. The thing is with quality brushes is a crappy brush. If you don't look after it, it's still a crappy brush. If you get a quality brush, you don't look after it, it very quickly becomes a crappy brush.
Yeah.
So you've got to really look after them quite carefully. But I've had good results with them.
Edward Leonard says that if you complain to them, they will replace them.
That's all right.
So,
I mean, it is possible to get duff brushes.
yes.
They are, most brushes are handmade, and it's entirely possible to get a duff one. So it's not impossible.
Could be a bad batch, could be a change of the adhesive that they're using to attach everything. It could be all kinds of things, mate. But it's worth getting in touch with them to let them know, because if it's a QC issue, then obviously it'll help them identify potential production problems.
However, I've since moved on from army painter brushes. I cannot enough sing the praises of broken toed brushes.
Broken toed?
Broken toed.
Oh, really?
Brushes. They are fantastic.
Oh.
I've got a set of the Broken Toad Series 3s.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest one.
Oh, nice.
But the beauty of the Broken Toad brushes is even the smallest one. Let me get the smallest one. Even the smally one, which is the 3.0.
Yeah.
It's tiny. It's got a super fine point. It's not on camera. But it's got a nice big reservoir for the paint. It's also a stray bristle that I need to sort out. And they really hold their point. They're not cheap. They're like 45 quid for 4.
Yeah.
30, 40, I think 35, 40 quid. And you can only get them from the Broken Toad website.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really nice. I've had a great time.
Yeah, but that's similar money to a Windsor and Newton Series 7, isn't it? So.
Yeah. But I've literally, since I started using them a couple of months ago, I've suddenly found I can paint the tiniest of stuff quite easily.
Yeah.
I still have lots of Citadel brushes lying around and my army painter ones for various jobs. I have learned as well. I've started changing the way I use my brushes.
Yeah.
Because I've learned some things. My expensive brushes, hang on, swig of water. My expensive brushes now just get used for simple colour painting.
Yeah.
Metallics, I use naffy old Citadel brushes.
Yeah.
And I don't use my expensive brushes for metallics ever now.
No.
And I don't use my new expensive brushes for shades either.
Oh, right.
Because what video was it? I watched somebody's video. It was like a how-to video. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Squidmar. I don't know. They were explaining about how to look after brushes, and they were saying things like shades have lots of things to do with surface tension in them.
Yes.
And they can go quite crispy. But the thing is, if they get stuck up in the brush, they knacker your brush.
Yes.
And metallic paints, of course, they're a nightmare anyway, and you don't want them getting stuck up in the ferrule. So he was basically saying you can, to keep things nice and clean and your expensive brushes working as long as possible, don't use them for metallics and don't use them for shades. Just use them for normal paints.
Yeah.
And light paint work, not like heavy duty, base painting or something. stick to the simple stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That does make actual logical sense.
Yeah, it does make perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yes, I've started doing that now, just not using them for anything other than...
I mean,
proper
all of
colour
us are
painting.
brutal with brushes, aren't we? Let's be honest. You know, we do get our use out of brushes, and then we like 3 years down the road after using it to do everything, we're moaning because it's starting to splay a bit. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't have my money's worth.
But I have noticed, I mean, I hadn't really triggered on it, but after I'd watched him saying that, I did realise that, yes, brushes that I've used for shades, they do tend to get really nasty looking after a very short time.
Yeah.
Just because of the nature of what shades are and what they do, the chemicals they contain. So, yeah, so I would recommend, if you've got some good brushes, just use them for painting. Don't use them for shades, and definitely don't use them for metallics. The same way you don't put metallics on your wet palette.
Yeah.
Don't use your good brushes.
You've only got to look at what pigment does to your brushes if you're using pigments.
You'd never use a good brush for pigments.
You know, you sit there and you're like, oh my God, what's happened there? And it's like,
it's purely about stuff getting up into the ferrule and splaying the bristles out. That's what we want to try and avoid. Right, so I've successfully removed this barrel from a bolter. I'm trying desperately to clean it up now, but it's really small and I can't get the knife around the edge of it. I'm not quite sure I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to get the barrel off the other gun. It's kind of already attached to the dude, so we shall see. There may be some shenaniganery going on in a minute. But
good, man. I'm wrong with a bit of shenaniganery, mate.
No, whether you can say it or not, it's always good. It's always good.
Oh, I can't say it, you know me, mate.
You did a good job, though. You did.
I thought I'd got away with that. I tried.
You kind of did the shenaniganery.
Yeah, I thought, I've covered that, I think. No one possibly has noticed.
Right, now I've got to get this barrel off this thing. This is the tricky bit now, getting the barrel off this bolter without messing up the entire rest of the figure.
We've got barrelage of goodness done.
This is the tricky bit.
Right.
Have you done your barrels?
Yeah.
Roll out your barrels so I can see.
Roll out my barrels. We've got some barrels of fun. Yeah. Get your barrels out. Freight for a pound.
Freight for a pound.
Get your barrels. Hit your barrels. Oh, the lovely, sexy barrels. All there.
Oh, darling, get some barrels here, all right? That wasn't a very good accent. That was a bit of a rubbish accent, that one.
Yeah, that was...
that was a bit rough, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit...
Did you do a bit of a Trump then, or was that your chair?
That might have been a bit of a Trump, mate.
You know I'm going to call it out if I hear it. I'm not going to not say anything.
I thought I'd got away with it.
No, it is like an outhouse rat. You know that.
Yeah, it's like...
It was like a...
I thought, no one will ever notice that.
Wrong. Yeah, and then you remembered you were sharing a stream with me.
Yeah.
And your heart sank just a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, he has got ears like shit house rat.
That was almost musical. Right, where's my tweezers? God damn it. Right, so we've moved the barrel. I've left a little bit of substance there, but we'll see how this... Oh, I nearly lost the barrel. Now, nobody can see what I'm doing here because it's really small, but I'm going to try and transplant my new barrel.
I'll put you full screen, you old mate. There you go.
No, they won't see it because my big fat hand will be in the way. It's not going to be pretty.
It's impressive, though.
A bit like me. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll be effective. So I've removed the old barrel. I've taken the barrel off the other bolter. Cleaned it up. I shall now attempt to transplantificate. From here to there, you see? From there to here. Now, it might not be lined up, but maybe a bit wonky donkey. But it'll be fine.
Once it's on the table,
once it's on the tabletop and 3 feet away from any prying eyes, at least 3 feet from any prying eyes, nobody will know. There, that is amazing. I don't know how. When I took the barrel off this bolter, I didn't get the where it came off. I didn't get it exactly straight. It had a slight bend to it. But somehow I managed to take the barrel off the other gun, and when I took that off, the barrel had a slight bend the opposite way. Right. So when I've just stuck them together, They fit perfectly. I don't know how I just did that.
Oh, you're good.
That's just like a nonsense, basically. That's witchcraft and tomfoolery, but there you go. You'd never know that I'd buggered up that barrel there.
I am impressed.
I'm impressed and I did it. Blow me out.
I'm so impressed. I haven't got a clue how you did that, mate.
Yeah. It's always handy. It's like I've got a few of my little deathcore dudes that I've either been gifted or I bought from eBay.
Yeah.
They're las rifles. The barrels have snapped off.
Oh, right, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, with deathcore, nobody has the same las rifles as deathcore.
Yeah.
And you can't buy like spares because it's resin. So what I've had to do is actually take some barrels off bog standard, say Tempestus Scions, which look a bit weird, and just stick that on the front. So some of my deathcore have slightly funky looking rifles. But nobody will know. Nobody will ever know.
No one will ever know because we won't tell them, even though we're live.
Yep. Even though, because, nobody will watch this. It'll be all right.
No.
I'm quite pleased with that. That somehow managed to fudge that completely. Dear Lord, I don't know how I got away with that. Right, I've still got one more to do, so if I mess this barrel up, I'm really screwed.
If you mess this barrel up, then, it's going to look really bad because you should have learnt.
Well, the thing is, drilling barrels, unless you get... I need somebody to invent a tool, right? What I need is somebody to invent a tool that is basically a drill bit like this, but it needs something around the edge of it.
I use a reamer.
I don't know. It's something that... It's got a drill bit in the middle, but it's got a bit that goes around the edge and locks like that. So it locks around the item, so it goes ka-chink like that and holds it in place, and then you can drill down.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you can open it and close it like that to adjust the outside bit.
Adjust the outside diameter.
Circumference, yeah. But there's a drill bit in the middle, so it just means that it's always centred exactly on whatever you're... Assuming that what you're working on is a cylinder and circular. Does that tool exist, and if so, why haven't I got one?
It could exist. There could be something that could be created to do the job.
Somebody needs to make one. Because at the moment, the only thing you can do is... you can do a pilot hole.
Yeah.
But the problem with doing a pilot hole is I will stab myself in the finger. Because you twiddle your knife blade like that, and then it goes beep, like that, and you stab yourself.
Yeah.
But even if you do a pilot hole, you can't guarantee it's in the centre.
No, I'm sure you can get jigs and things where you can have adjustable jigs that will clamp round objects. I'm sure I've seen that type of thing. I'll have a look, see what we can come up with.
Oh, that one's just about in the centre. Oh, moisturarity. I've done it again.
Know what that means, Sarge? That might mean that I have to go and do a trip on Thingiverse.
Singularity.
To see whether there's a gadget of drill holding us down barrels that's adjustable.
Basically, when I was a kid, there was a tool. I'm sure it was a tool where it was a kind of grabby hand thing that you'd use to take pickles out of a jar.
Yeah.
And it had two half circles that open like that.
Yeah.
And you get it in the jar and you go ka-chink like that. You do that and it will go plunk and grab the pickle.
Yeah.
The pickled onion. You need that, but with the drill bit down the middle, so it locks around the item and then centres it.
Yeah.
But it needs to go small enough.
A bit of drillage.
Yes, but it needs to go small enough to work around a bolter barrel.
Yeah.
Because no matter how you do it, you still have to fudge getting it in the middle.
Yeah.
And I will be honest, I do take comfort when you see official Games Workshop box art. And there's a dude there with the barrel drilled out and it's not quite in the centre.
Yeah, but don't it mess with your OCD?
No, because I sit there and say, hey, if the professionals can't do it without making a bit of a mess sometimes, then I'm quite happy that I can do it without making a mess sometimes.
Yeah, that's up there with, how can we say, shiny clothes box art.
Hello, Ravel.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all seen him. We've all seen that SWAT guy.
Oh, yeah. What gets me is ICM released the same kit, I think.
Yeah.
But they did a much better paint job on their box art.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, with that kit, right, it doesn't matter whether it's Ravel or ICM, the pose is dumb. It's a dumb pose.
Yeah. It's almost like he's popping an olive.
Yeah, or he's just looking down at like a dog poop on the floor or something.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that pose? It's not an action-oriented pose at all.
No.
You think he'd be like in an action, but no, he's not. It just looks like he's just Yeah, like you say, dropping an olive or something. It's not a good pose.
Felice is saying, do you start with the drill or pilot hole, Fox? He says. Also, he says a notice ball pin works well to pilot as it's got a handle. There you go.
Usually I go balls to the wall and go straight in with the drill. But even with this one, I put a pilot hole in, but I've already messed it up because it's not quite in the middle. So even with the pilot hole, sometimes I'll do a pilot hole, but it's a question of do I have the nerve, because I know if I slip with the knife, I take my finger out.
Yeah.
When I do a pilot hole, it can often end in tears. So.
Yeah, normally I end up drilling the end of my finger for some reason whenever I drill.
When you do these little gas vents on the muzzle brake.
Yeah.
I'm cringing because I know it's going to pop through on the other side and spear me in the finger.
Always gets you, doesn't it? And it's like, really? That's only just healed from the last time I did it.
Yeah. Ah, there you go, straight through. In one way, it's good that these drill bits aren't sharp on the end.
Yeah.
Because you don't stab yourself. But on the other hand, it makes drilling into things a pain in the arse because they're not sharp on the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've messed that barrel up already. This one as well. I've got to be very careful with it now. I can't go any deeper with that because I did a pilot hole and I messed it up. So all I can do is carve it out to look wider. I can't go any deeper with that because I'll knacker the side of it, and I haven't got a spare bolt.
Yeah, right. Paul Line says, yeah, the best way would be a lock-in mechanism and then arms that bend like a car jack using a screw-in mechanism.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just something a bit similar to a three-leg puller almost that will clamp round it, but the drill bit is immediately centred.
Yeah,
straight down the middle.
It needs to go really small. That's the thing. It just needs to be able to go quite small. It's just a something to guide the drill bit to the centre of whatever it is you're wrapping the outer parts around. Yeah, that's all it is really. This barrel is going to be a right mess, but it's the best I could do on such short notice. Not quite proud of that barrel, but it'll do. Nobody will know.
It'll do.
It's not quite drilled out all the way, but I can paint black in there. I can put a wash in there. It'll make
time it's been painted and dressed and all of that lot. I'm sure it'll be suitably disguised.
Well, the good thing is I did a little bit of a dimple which wasn't in the middle, so I've carved out around it. So it's like a recess now. It's not completely drilled through. It's just a recess. But once it gets a black shade in there, you won't know.
No.
No one will know the truth of this matter.
No one will ever know.
No one will ever know what just happened.
Your waist.
Yes. Now we can get back onto the important business, which is the dude getting the pistol out. Look at this. He's in the process. His arm is in the process of getting the bolt pistol out of the holster.
Oh.
That's why I like this one. He's like going.
Yeah.
His other arm's got the bolter in his hand, and he's holding it up because he's going, I'm going to go for my pistol because I don't know why.
I'm going to go for the pistol of goodness because I can.
Because perhaps I need to reload my bolt rifle, and that's really not got time for that. But this is another barrel I've got to try not to screw up. So sometimes you drill barrels out and every single one goes great, or it goes okay, and you've got to. But sometimes you can't drill for shit. Basically, you're like, can't do it.
Yeah, you sit there and you're like, okay, why did I even attempt that?
Yep. I'm going to try and drill it without a pilot hole here and see what happens.
If you hear the sound of sobbing, folks, you know it's not gone well.
Spuds deep, straight in, balls to the wall. Plenty of it, flood the cowling. And it's almost perfect. I've got the advantage I can hold it down on the desk and get it straight. When it's actually glued to the figure, that's when it goes a bit wrong. So, but I had like 4 dudes that had assembled them and forgotten to drill the barrel out, which is always a bad idea. Hello? You got some sort of small mammal there?
Yeah, I'm just using my Citadel scraper.
Oh, I thought you were torturing small rodents of some sort.
No, for some reason it just wanted to make some kind of strange little squeaky sound.
Maybe it was trying to be a jellyfish. Jellyfish. Yeah. That's jellyfish feeding noises. Nom 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 nom. Right, that's that done. Where's me intercontinental pad? There you go. So anyway, how have you been, Colin? You've not talked about you. It's your show and you've not even talked about yourself. How have you been? What have you been up to?
Me talk about myself? Oh, cringe.
Yeah, I'm shutting up now, so you've got no choice.
Oh, you get it. I've been all right, mate. Yeah, I've been filming this week, so I've been doing a bit on the E-Models build, playing catch up there, because where I'd been doing me move around in the man cave, I'd kind of neglected to do any filming of anything. So I've been playing up, catch up, doing that. So I've got 2 episodes of that filmed. One's already up on E-Models at the moment.
It went up today, so go and watch it after you've watched this.
I've then been filming the 432 build. I've got about 30 hours of footage to edit.
Hang on. A 432 was mentioned.
Yeah, 432. Yeah, that bad boy. That is.
Dad's making little squeaking noises unless he's asleep.
Is going to get primered over the next couple of days and filmed. So then that series.
Are you not tempted to actually take that 432 and then just plastic card it into a Rhino?
There has been possibilities of hawking it up that have entered my head, but then you would think that you've really got me then, and I didn't want to admit to that.
Yeah, why build a Rhino kit when you could buy a 432 and convert it into a Rhino?
No,
You could do a diorama of the entrance of Warhammer World where the 432 Rhino is.
Yeah, with us lot all stood there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting done in the Berlin camo to go with the Conqueror tank. And I've got a couple of figures to go with it, and one of them is going to be sitting there or standing there smoking a fag, and it's
Who could that possibly be?
Who could that possibly be?
Who could that be smoking a fag in the back of a 432?
Yeah, because we don't know anyone that's done that and thrown it out the window and it's caught the net in the light, do we? Because
are you gonna have it on a diorama on its front 2 wheels?
Yes, it's very tempting to do so, isn't it? But that idea has already been offered to Dad, and I think that's the way he's going to build his one, because he's got the same kit.
Oh, that's right. He's got the picture, hasn't he? So yes.
Yeah. So he's going to do it as the photograph. So I'm going to have the
excellent
Mike Mountain having a fag at the back of the 432 at Checkpoint Charlie. And,
for those that don't know, I'm sure everybody does, but for anybody watching who doesn't know, Scaly Models, aka Mike Mountain, aka Dad, our good buddy, who's hiding in the background, I think, still.
Yeah, I think he's in the chat somewhere.
Has a soft spot for 432s because he used to drive them. Yes. In the World War One, in the 70s, when he was in the days of black and white and stuff, he used to drive around in one of them.
Yeah.
When he was in the army, so he's got a soft spot for the 432s.
Yes.
So when we went to Warhammer World, and it was all our first time there. If you've never been to Warhammer World, outside the front door is a life-size Rhino, like literally made out of metal, but it's actually an actual 432 that's been converted to look like a Rhino. It's got like a body kit on it to look like a Rhino. So it's a life-size tracked vehicle. It's literally a real-life 432, but done up to look like a Rhino. And Dad was like, "Oh, that's a 432! Oh!"
I can imagine that there was all kinds of, can I work it? Can I start it? Can I play with it?
Well, the thing is, it clearly worked its magic because he'd never been there before and he wasn't that interested in the Warhammers, really. Yeah. He saw that 432 and within seconds he was inside buying his big Orc Stomper.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on his phone data at the moment because Virgin have shut down his internet again.
Why have they shut down his internet?
Because they're doing maintenance on the network nearby where he is. Yeah, so I can just imagine all the dad noises that are being made at Virgin right now.
I can imagine all the dad words.
Yeah.
This is why you want broadband that just works off the BT network, because then it's just never breaks down. Or very rarely breaks down.
Yeah, it's very frustrating at the moment, broadband.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can have all kinds of big weaponry going on the front of this.
Weapons across the universe. See, I'm a PlusNet, and I've, in the 20 years, well, I started off with Force 9, who then got taken over by PlusNet.
Yeah.
But in the 20 years I've been with Force 9 / PlusNet, I've literally had a broadband issue twice.
Oh, right, yeah.
Once was a local network fault at the exchange, so not their fault, it's the BT network, the Open Reach network, and that was a couple of days.
Yeah.
And the other one was an ongoing issue, but it turned out to be my actual router and a hub, BT home hub stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It was just old. So the engineer came, he checked all the lines and stuff. There was a fault on the phone line, because it's using the BT. There was a fault on the phone line anyway. There was some noise on the line. I knew that because I used to work in telecom, so I could do all the quiet line tests and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a slight fault on the line, which he did some pole work to fix that. But he also said, we'll replace your hub, because that's really old and it's probably not helping either.
Oh, you had a hub from about 1912, did you?
Yeah, we had the old BT home hub that has like the hub and the router.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fine, you know, for the 5 or 6 years that we had it when we first got it. But now he's like, yeah, we'll take that out now. It's just one single hub now.
Yeah. Oh, he's disappeared on us. That's ironic considering we was talking about broadband. He should be back in any minute. So let's keep an eye out on that. Candygram for Mongos saying
there you go.
Might Psycho Fish have something to do with Dad's internet connection. Psycho was acting disarmingly polite earlier.
Yeah, that's a bit unnerving when Psycho's acting politely. You think something's
absolutely
wrong.
That's ironic talking about broadband and then it goes pink.
Yes, I think that's a StreamYard issue. I think that's an issue with StreamYard and something on my computer.
Yeah.
But I don't know what. I've not been able to figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking with the webcams at times, mate. It just seems really odd because
I know
in
it's
the
not.
Hangouts, it's fine.
Yeah, because it's not a broadband issue because literally it puts me back to the join the streams. I just press the button straight away and I'm straight back in. So it's not a broadband issue.
Yeah, it's sending you to the back room, isn't it? The waiting room.
But I don't know why. I've not been able to see any reference to anybody else having that problem. So yeah, I mean, I've literally in all those years, I've had 2 issues. Occasionally, my broadband may suddenly go a bit slow, but because I used to work in various telecoms and broadband support, I just phone them up and say, can you adjust my profile back? You've put a 5 meg cap on it. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Click, we were doing some maintenance work. Bang, there you go. You can get 50 meg again now.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what they'll do is they'll lock your speed just while they do some maintenance work.
Yeah, that's right.
To put it back.
Carl's off, going to bed.
Take care, Carl.
Right, Carl, take care, mate. Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Hasta mañana.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever have a broadband issue where, let's say you normally get, say, 50 or 60 meg or whatever speed you normally get, and suddenly you're getting much slower, but it's always about the same.
Yeah.
So if you get like, say, I don't know, 60 meg, and suddenly you get in one day you get 5, next day you get 15, next day you get 12, then you get 22, that's probably a telecoms issue or a router issue. If you get your broadband that's normally, say, 50 or 60 meg, and suddenly it's 30 meg every time, or it's 25 meg every time, or it's 10 meg every time, every day, the same, then that's not a fault. They've throttled you at that amount. They've said, on their network, they've said, don't do more than 5 meg to this phone line.
Yeah.
And it's normally because they're doing some maintenance work and they've just quickly put it on that to control the engineer map dumps and stuff, just to stop data going back and forth for whatever reason. But sometimes they do that and then they forget to put it back. They might just
Sprue and Glue's asking, how many boomsticks am I putting on the tank?
All of them.
Oh, all of them, mate. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10,
12T, M,
10 or 11, something like that, mate.
Did you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 10?
Yeah, because I've got 6 of these going on, ain't I?
That's orc numbers.
Yeah, so 111 12 is by powers of deduction the number.
Because when orcs count, orcs have got symbols for numbers. They've got one thing, 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, 5 things, lots of things. That's orc numbers.
So I've just done orc numbers as well. See,
you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots.
Yeah. I am secretly an orc, folks.
Yes, you are an orc. You are just basically Gazgul, aren't you? But you're just an orc, basically.
Candygram from Mongo saying, what is the diameter of the drill bit that you use for drilling barrels? I have a cunning plan, and I precision lathe in the garage to see if my dumb idea might work. There you go.
I don't know, because it's the Games Workshop pin vise, and they have precisely 3 bits. They have they have, if you can see, fat, medium, and thin. And the thin one is exactly the right diameter for bolter drill bits, for bolter barrels.
I do believe you have a vernier gauge of goodness that you could.
Oh, yes, I do. Except where did I put? But
just a thought.
But where did I put it? That's a very good question. I bought it, and I've only had it like 5 minutes, and I don't know what I've done with it. Where? Oh, it's in my drawer. There we go. It's on this drawer that says calipers and circle tool.
There you go.
There we go. Look at this.
It
Not
doesn't
only
get out much.
circle tool. Look, Cole, look. And it's even got the little bit that you can put in the middle, so you don't put a big hole in the middle of the thing, because it's like a compass tool. So you put that in the middle, and you put then. It cost me £5 or thereabouts. It'll last me about 5 minutes and fall apart.
You know what I'm going to be getting then after the show?
Well, send me a message on the Facebook, so I'll send you the links, because I got both. Look at that.
Yeah, I got one of them just up there, the vernier gauge of goodness.
It
Not
is a
the
cheap
best
plastic
made
one.
of thing. Yeah, it's cheap plastic.
So it's not
That
exactly
does the
100%
job.
accurate, but...
Yeah.
Right. Let me do some vernier magic. I'm going to read you who was it that was asking.
The Candygram from Mongo.
Oh, okay. Mayhem's gone to bed, by the way.
Yeah, Night Mayhem. I would
Right.
know because he's gone to bed.
So that's 0. We'll 0 that. Are we ready? Okay. The thinnest one, which I think is the barrel size. Let me just test it. Where's his arm? Is it that one? Yes, they give you 3. The smallest one is perfectly sized for their barrel. It is 0.9 mm.
There you go.
0.9 mm. It's a 0.9 mil drill bit. Oh, it's a 0-inch drill bit. The other ones, in case anybody wants to know, is a 1.4 mil. I've never been able to do this. I'm so happy right now. And a 1.9 mil. I've also got my own one here, which is a 0.4 millimetrons. 0.4 kilograms.
So you've come into this stream and you've got to play with your tool, mate.
Wait, now it's 0.8 millimeters. Now it's 0.9. Oh, I'm going to guess 0.9 is probably about right. Also, my battery cover's not on properly. That's a bit rubbish. Yeah, if you remind me later, dude, I'll link you to them on my Amazon. They're not in my store, but so you can get. They're like £7. They're cheap,
Yeah, no, that's mint, mate.
cheap and nasty, but they do the job. So there you go. Whoever that was, Candygram or whoever, you've now allowed me
Jeff
to.
Koenig.
You've now allowed me to measure my first thing with my measuring device.
Absolutely.
Because I said I bought myself a measuring device and I bought myself a circle cutter, and it guarantees I'll never need to use them now.
I know, it's brilliant.
But yes, I do like the pin vise set that Games Workshop do, because it's perfectly sized. The smallest one is the size of a bolter barrel.
Yeah.
The biggest one is the right diameter for real big storm bolter, like heavy bolter barrels.
Yeah.
And the middle one is about the right size for vent holes and exhausts.
Oh, mate, I'd so be drilling all of that lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what they're designed for, you see. That's why it comes with 3. And you get 2 of it. Hello.
Spider pig.
You get a dinosaur and a spider pig.
Absolutely. Get your spider pigs here.
You're getting all the fun of the farm tonight. Spider pig. Spider pig. Does whatever a spider pig does. Thank you very much. Come again. Try the fish. Thank you. Good night now. Bye-bye. I'll stop now. I got a bit carried away there. Hang on, my rug's getting exciting. Hang on. I'm just adjusting my noodle rug. It's creeping up on me.
He's also asking, how long are the drill bits?
With the...
So you noticed there, Candygram, I waited until he had put the drill bits away before I
You had to wait till I put the drill bits away there, didn't you?
Yeah, because I knew you'd enjoy getting them all back out again.
Away in Baljerid. I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles, my... Right. There is an unwritten law that whenever you get anything that you can that looks like, say, like a sponge or 2 bits of a roll or anything like that, that you can form into an Al Jolson mouth, you have to go, I'd walk 1,000,000 miles. You have to sing that and shut up. It's an old family joke that you won't get if you're not part of our family. Never mind.
No.
Right, so there's lovely. Let's get these measurated. measuring things with Fox.
Absolutely.
Fox is an idiot, but with the right tools, he can do measuring like a proper grown-up.
Yes, today Professor Fox is using implements of the measuring type.
Measuring time, measuring time, measuring time, boom. Right. The smallest, I'm adding to the length of them, it doesn't really matter, does it? The smallesty one, I don't know how I'm going to measure this because it's quite hard to get them lined up.
Well, yeah, because
the smallest one, eh?
I was going to say, yeah, the depth is going to be, or the length is going to be how deep you drill the hole, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, no, but the actual,
how long's the barrel, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, literally, the depth of a barrel is like, I don't know, I don't know how I can measure this. Literally,
Yeah,
like
it's,
a millimetre, maybe.
yeah, they're not deep, are they?
No, it's about that. Does that help? It's that big. I could just measure it against the actual ruler, couldn't I? It is.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets really tricky because I'm rubbish at reading numbers. So let me try and measure it with the calipers because I've got them out. I'm going to damn well use them. It is approximately 34.3 millimeters long, so 3.43 centimetrons. So let's call it 3.4 centimetrons. The other one is, the medium one is about 4.1, so call it 4 centimeters. And the big fat boy is 4.93, so 49. Sorry, I've got that wrong. 49.3 millimeters. So there you go. I don't know. Some numbers.
Yeah, some random numbers on the number wang.
That's number wang. Don't make me do measuring because I always get it wrong. And then people laugh at me and then I feel sad and I have to go and shut myself away in a tower.
Because we're all mocking him.
And it takes me ages to grow my hair out so I can escape out the window. Git. Tool of happiness. I've got to use my happy tool. Wait, no, that sounds wrong.
Sounded very, very wrong in so many.
I've gone a bit blue for the dad. I've gone a bit blue for the dads again.
Got a bit blue for the mums and the dads.
Oh yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlefolk, it's that time of the night where the kiddies have gone to Popeyes, and now the jokes are for mum and dad.
See, I'm getting flashbacks to Pontins in Blackpool in the 70s again now. Because they divided the camp up into two houses, House Castella and House Embassy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Ever so slightly sponsored they were.
Yeah, can imagine by whom.
Yeah, so, and you know, that's how they do like the Nobly Need competitions. They'd all have you compete against each other, each half of the camp.
Yeah.
So half the camp would be like House Castella and half would be half a House Embassy. And sometimes you'd be in the entertainment hall and I'd be allowed to stay there a little later than normal, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when they come on and say, now it's a little bit blue now for the mums and dads, so all the kids should really go away now. Go away, go on, bugger off.
As was the same, you used to have the embassy clubs.
Yeah. It was the only thing, it was a Pontins holiday camp, but it was for some reason it was House Embassy and House Cast. I don't know why. There was no other advertising in the place at all. But I'll tell you what I did the other day. Out of curiosity, I looked up Pontins to see if they even still exist.
Yeah.
And they do, and it looks
the same.
It looks shameful.
Really?
There's a few camps, usually down south around Wales, and and oh, dear Lord,
yeah,
it's like it says, you know, the basic chalets is comes with a bed,
yeah,
a kettle and coffee and tea making facilities, and a television with a small number of channels.
Yeah, the mattress is of an age undeterminable.
Yeah, and it's they do have little houses as well, like apartments that you can rent and stuff. Because I was thinking one day, I wonder if you could live at a Pontins. If you could just pay them and say, look, it's cheaper than a hotel room. I'll live at a Pontins if it's all year round.
Yeah,
get one of the actual homes rather than the chalets, and just you just live there, wouldn't you? But it's at one point it says, we do not provide double beds, apart from one or two of the camps where this option is available. I'm like, wow, so even a married couple.
Okay, yeah.
Even a married couple, they've got two single, oh dear.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
no, we don't have that sort of thing in a Pontins holiday camp, you know.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, imagine if you didn't want to have a house, you wanted to live somewhere.
Yes.
Because I'd be the kind of person that I wouldn't really care if I lived in a hotel room. If I won the lottery, I'd just move into a hotel room and there you go. Everything's done for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to have your own house. I don't need to spend a lot of money.
Of course you don't.
And it was I wonder if they're open 365 days a year, could you live at a Pontins camp? Because it'd be really basic living, but all I'd do is stream and do live streams and videos.
Well, I don't think legally they're allowed to open, are they, for 300? They have to shut for a period of time to stop people permanently living there.
I don't know, because it says all year round.
Oh, because
I
know. Go on.
But at one point, one of the questions in the FAQ is, do your TVs have SCART sockets? And I'm like, what?
Okay.
It's like a television since 1987 hasn't had a SCART socket.
Yeah.
And that's one of their questions in the FAQ section. And it says, no, not all of our televisions have SCART sockets. What?
Okay.
Is this for people that bring their own VCR? I don't quite get the
question.
Well,
yeah, because that used to be a thing, wouldn't it? I can remember my old man used to take the video on holiday with him in case he wanted to watch a film.
But it's like, why would that be a question in 2021? Do your televisions have SCART sockets? It's that they can plug their camcorder in.
But the beauty of it is, as a kid, is you would spend the first day of your holiday watching your old man get more and more irate because he couldn't get their telly to work with his video. So yeah, it'd be great fun. Like dad's swearing in there again. Oh, this is fun.
But I love the way it just kind of said. I do recommend people go and look at the Pontins website because it's quite dire. It's like, it's the way it says, a small limited number of channels. Basically saying you're lucky if you get a TV, and if you do, you're getting over-the-air terrestrial, and that's it. You're not there to watch telly.
Yeah, you've got to get that same really shonky gravitating picture of.
Yeah, you ain't getting no Sky Sports and all out like that, nor nothing either.
Yeah, Television Southwest with the news from 1952.
I'm having a problem with my televisualizer.
Yeah, hello.
Mr. General Warner.
Yeah.
So
hello,
and they look quite basic. It's like literally like two single beds, that little wooden thing between them with the drawer, and probably a Gideon Bible in there, and then you look at tea and coffee maker, and that's it.
Gideon Bible, my God, there's a blast from the past.
They probably don't have a Gideon Bible in there, but yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
It wouldn't be surprised.
And it's like that's exactly what the rooms were like when I was a kid, except there was more orange and brown in those days. Now they're a bit more tasteful. So they really are, literally, it's a basic room for you to stay in while you go and explore and go on holiday and stuff. Oh. Which kind of makes sense. Right, this dude is releasing his pistol. He's handling his weapon.
He's
removing it from its holster area, which is awesome because I get to glue it to his thigh and also to his arm, to his chest. That's cool.
Oh, cool.
That's so awesome. Also a little bit fiddly, but we'll get that done now. Yeah, so Pontins holiday camps. Oh dear. So did you used to do the holiday camp thing then?
Yeah, Pontins, you'd go Butlins.
I never went to Butlins. We always thought Butlins was like the common alternative to Pontins.
Yeah, we used to go to the Ruder Holiday Park in Croyd Bay, Devon.
It was always Pontins in Blackpool for us.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we thought Butlins was the common man's Pontins, because Pontins was pretty much the common man's Pontins.
Yeah. Did you up there have Walner holiday parks?
Did we do what?
Walner. Warner. Walner.
Never heard of them.
No. Yeah,
it was literally every summer for my childhood we'd go to Pontins in Blackpool.
Yeah.
To the point that we didn't even have a car some years, so Dad would just get a taxi. From here to Blackpool. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Remember the days?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Of course, it was a bit like the Griswolds when we went on holiday. It was, yeah.
It was quite sad though. About 5 or 6 years ago, my brother, who lives in the States, he used to visit every few years. They couldn't afford to come every year, but every 2 or 3 years he'd come out with his family and visit.
Yeah.
And it was quite sad that we decided on a whim. It's him and his wife.
Yeah.
And my nieces. So they're all basically Tennessee. They're all like Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised, for the most part. And they said, we were like, you know what? Should we go on a day trip to Blackpool? Because like my sister-in-law and my nieces had never been to Blackpool. Obviously, when my brother first got married over there, we used to have a caravan in the lakes, so they used to go there. But since the nieces were born, the last 20 years we haven't had that, so they've come to visit us here, and we've gone into like Manchester and stuff to the Science Museum and things, but we've never done anything else really. They've never been around, so we said, should we go on a day trip to Blackpool? Yeah, let's go and check it out. So we all got in the car and a day trip to Blackpool, which to somebody from Tennessee is probably like the third world.
Yes.
But they enjoyed it. They did enjoy it. But we had occasion to, we said, should we go and drive past the old Pontins and see what it's like?
Yeah.
To see if we can remember where it is, the old Lytham St Anne's Pontins. And we drove past it on the road, and it's just flat land. It's been gone. It's just completely gone.
Oh,
Apparently
really?
it was razed to the ground that year, a few weeks before.
My missus, when we first started seeing each other, I hadn't long had my motor, and it was, let's go out and go and see places. So I said, where do you want to go? She said, I've always wanted to go to Tuctonia.
To where?
Tuctonia. What it used to be was down Bournemouth way.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like Legoland, but it was complete perfect miniature models of major cities around the world.
Oh, like model villages type things.
Yeah, London, Paris and all that. Like, it was hyper detailed with proper horses, carriages, cars, all of that, like doing the little trundling around. It was really mint. So I'm like, yeah, no worries. We drove all the way down there. We got there and it had been closed for about 4 years. So, yeah. So,
we went on I remember myself and my ex about 15 years ago and stuff. We decided to take her nephew and niece and her mum on a day trip to, I think it was Rill. Is it Rill that's like a real flea bitten? I can't remember now. Anyway,
yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
It might have been Rill. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, I've never been there. So, and I'm rubbish at driving, but I drove. Got on the old Sierra, drove all the way down to Rill in the Sierra that had a knackered radiator. So every time we got stuck in traffic, it was middle of summer. I had to put the heating on full whack to get the temperature down, so we were sweating cobs. And we got to Rill, and apart from the fact I managed to lock the keys in the boot of the car, which was fantastic.
Oh, that's a good start then, isn't it?
We had to get the RAC out to kind of try and get the boot open. I remember it might not have been Rill. It might have been. I don't know if it was the actual Rill itself, but it was all closed down because it was like, it must have been off season, but it was still like June or July or something. Everything was closed. And we walked down the main street, and apart from the fact there was a shop called Dave's Stolen Mobile Phone Shop. Literally, it was called Dave's Stolen Mobile Phone Shop. Everything was boarded up and abandoned, like it was like Chernobyl. But there was a fairground. But I don't mean like real Sun Centre big. It was like a proper carny fairground behind a fence. Oh yeah, behind a chain link fence, and it was maybe in the same foot area space as your local B&Q. It wasn't big.
Yeah.
But it was all gated up and it was abandoned. And I don't mean it was closed, it looked abandoned.
Yeah.
And we got out of the car and we're walking down the main street, and like, all the shops are boarded up, and I'm like, there's no one else there. And I'm like, I'm not happy here. This is I don't like it here. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. It's like,
and then you got this abandoned Scooby-Doo fairground. I'm like, can we just get out of here now?
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to leave. And then I'm like, I've locked my keys in the boot. Oh.
Did it have the howling coyote in the background?
Yeah, it really was like, oh dear Lord. Anyway, look, there's the dude getting the gun out of his holster. Look.
Oh,
he's holding up his weapon and he's grabbing his other weapon.
Oh. That sounded wrong.
I shoot you with my gun.
Anyways.
So he's clearly a bit of an idiot, and he's shot he's emptied his magazine, and he's like, oh, I need to shoot something now. I need my little gun.
I reckon that could shoot.
It might have been real, or it might have been a little town near it. I don't know. I know it's because I don't really know the area, so I can't imagine Rill itself would have been like an abandoned Chernobyl, but it might have been. I don't know. It was grim. Don't forget, I come from near Manchester, and I thought it was grim.
Oh, did you now?
So that's saying something. Although I'm more like Cheshire than Manchester, but we don't have to have that conversation again.
No.
Right, that's two dudes
so
done.
you're from the nice bit, that's what you're saying.
I'm from the Cheshire part. Cheshire is indeed part of my address. Some people have gone to bed apparently. Mayhem Model Works went to bed about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, a lot of people are going and enjoying a bit of slumber, which I can't say is a blame them.
I have that tool, Fox, says Sprue and Glue.
Yeah.
Fox measures won't end good. Perfect information, Fox. Thanks, says Candygram.
Absolutely.
Fox playing with his tool on stream. This show is now for people over 18. Something different.
Yeah, this one is just for the mums and the dads.
Yeah, Lynn Dipple says Spider Pig and perfect timing, Jeff. Just after I put all the drill bits away. How long are they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sprue and Glue says Fox, how many twists in each drill bit? Edward Leonard says Fox, count to 10. 1, 2, some.
Yeah. I reckon that is about there.
Candygram says to Edward, nice, I'm in awe. I consider myself a well-intentioned amateur, but I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, retired tool and die maker. I used to have a whole machine shop in my old garage. I have a tool and die set.
Yeah, I've got a tap and die set.
Tap and die set. I have it there. Look, hanging under them. Look.
I've still got a complete set of Whitworth sockets as well.
I don't know what they are, but do you know how often I've used that tool set, that tap and die set?
Once.
Yeah. It was, I had to, what was I making? It was the first ever Colonial Viper I made.
Yeah.
And I wanted to mount it onto a brass rod, onto a wooden base. Yeah. I didn't know what I was doing, so I glued, I got myself a steel rod, brass rod, and a nut of the right size, and I had to tap the thread on the end of the brass rod.
Right, yeah.
I didn't have any kind of clamp or vise. So I had to literally go downstairs into the garden, put it on the arm of the garden bench, really push down on it with my hand, and then turn the die or tap whatever to cart. And it was like my hand was so sore. And it was a really bad connection. Then I sold that model to someone in Australia. And I hope it's still on the brass rod, because it was a really shonky connection point. Yeah, I never used it again. Because then I struggled with how to mount things onto brass rods, and I came across this one model maker who made beautiful aircraft models, but he used because the problem you've got is if you mount something on a brass rod, if you don't do it the right way, your model just spins round.
Yes.
And if it's got a weight to it at an angle, it'll just drop like that.
Yeah.
But this chap I saw, he in his blog, he had these photographs. He makes aircraft. I think he's Canadian, and he mounts them on these square brass rods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it doesn't rotate round. It's a perfect connection, and they look beautiful. And I'm like, I don't understand how he's actually done the square hole to mount the brass rod into. Yeah. Is he like measuring it and carving it out and stuff? So I mailed him and I said, hi, how do you mount them on the brass rod? Do you have to do some cutting and measuring? No, what I do is I heat up the end of the brass rod and I just jam it in the bottom.
Oh, really?
And that makes a square hole. I'm like, wow, wow.
Yeah, there's you thinking it's all super technical. And
he's like, no, I'll just heat it up and jam it through. And there you go, that's where the rod's going in. Jam. And he said it's great because it doesn't spin on the rod. Then what are you doing? No, you're sawing, aren't you?
I am cutting a chunk out the front of the Baneblade.
You're having a go at your glasses plate. What are you cutting out? What are you doing?
Viewers of a nervous disposition might want to turn away.
Yeah.
I am notching for that to sit on the front.
Oh.
Because we want shooty double barrel Gatling guns of goodness coming out the front there, see?
That's a bit of sexy times, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of, where can I put it? And I'm like, I want it to go there. I so want it to go there because the mud flaps are going to just, and it's going to, all of that.
You lost the words.
I don't know.
You got so excited, your words stopped working. You just did the noises instead.
Yeah.
You're very nearly blue screen then.
But you know what I'm like, You've got me
like a puppy with multiple balls.
Oh, I am
tennis
a
balls.
kid in a china shop.
Yeah. I'm just actually quite in awe that you're quite happy to just hack apart these pieces, this expensive.
Yeah, you find it strange, don't you, that I do it this way? But
I don't find it strange. I find it ballsy because if I tried it, I'd do something and just mess it up. And I'd be panicking, whereas you just go, I'm having fun now. If it goes wrong, I just...
Stage, cutting it up, you do sort of think, oh my God, there's big holes everywhere and you've got to fill it. But once you start filling it, it's actually fine.
But that's the thing. I mean, whereas I would do it and be panicking that I'd messed it up.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, I screwed that up. I'll fix it some other way. We'll fix
It's
it
only
as we go
plastic
along.
at the end of the day. It's like, you know, if you mess it up, you just glue it back on, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, but I can weld the plastic with my little miniature plastic welder over there. So it's not a problem.
To me, it's fascinating to watch you take pleasure in doing something that for me would have the cold sweats doing it. It's like me just swapping the barrel around on that bolter earlier on was like cold sweat time. Because if it went wrong, I'd be screwed. I'd have a guy with a rubbish weapon, but you would love it.
I enjoy this part because I know in me head what I can see, how I see it looking, and it's now creating that three-dimensionally.
Yeah.
And now that I've got it, you know, because originally I was going to do this Berlin camo, as you know.
That was boring. Then you stopped being boring and tried to do it all.
Yeah, you sowed the seed of all goodness and how it could open up potential. And I was like, do you know something? I could really make this different. And a lot of people, when they see you cutting a kit up like that, they think that you're being disrespectful of the kit.
Oh, that's rubbish.
Now,
that's nonsense. It's your kit.
You and Mike got me this, and I said to you before, I'm eternally grateful to both of you. And for me to do what you want, which is the Festa way, then I've got to butcher it a bit to achieve it. But
oh yeah, don't bother me, mate.
At this stage, it's always difficult to get other people to see what your vision is. It's weird to put in words, but
yeah, there's no problem butchering it around because we got you that, so you could do whatever you want with it.
Yeah,
and if you're doing it what you want with that, that's what you want.
I kind of know where I want it to go. It's getting it there.
Yeah, but I just find it fascinating because you enjoy that process so much that terrifies me, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I do. That doesn't worry me. Dave, when I first started getting him to get the saw out, he was like, "You just pick it up and do it." And I said, "Well, the more you think about it, the more you won't do it."
Well, you know, you're cutting that out there.
Yes.
Have you not got a little Dremel?
Yeah.
With like a little circle blade, you can just cut out like that.
Yeah, but it's loud.
Is it what?
It's loud.
Ah, that's true. That's true.
And it's 2 a.m, and
yeah, that's true.
And we're live, and I don't like using electrical tools when I'm live because it's loud. So
that's true.
It's not fair on the viewers, is it? So, but yeah, I've got Dremels, mate. I've got big Dremel 3000 sat there.
I don't know why I asked. Of course you've got Dremels. I should have known, really.
Oh, yeah, you've got to have a Dremel, mate.
Phil East is going back to the SCART socket conversation from earlier on about pontins. I need to sneeze. You may have noticed.
Yeah, you sneeze away, mate.
Wow, that was just woken everybody in the neighbourhood, including myself. I can smell everything now. Phil East refers back to the SCART socket conversation from earlier in the TVs in pontins and says, SCART socket, maybe somebody had a retro games and light entertainment weekend bonanza planned.
Oh, yeah, that could have been a thing.
Listening to Fox talking about he takes his weapon out of its holster is like listening to a dodgy Barbara Cartland novel. Oh, God, can you imagine Barbara Cartland doing audiobooks of her own books? Just nothing would be worse to listen to.
Barbara Cartland. My God.
Phil E says he had a week in Butlins at Skeggy as a kid and loved it and met Jim Bowen. Smashing, great super.
Great, smashing, super. Here's what you could have won.
Sprue and Glue says, do you ever get the feeling you're not wanted or welcome somewhere but tolerated?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, I hope you're not feeling that in the chat because, you know, we don't feel that way about you.
No, we love you, mate.
Yeah.
In a manly kind of way, of course.
Yeah. The thing to remember when you're in a live chat with a live stream is that, especially when if it's people put questions and things in chat all the time, but we don't always get a chance to answer them because we can't sit and watch the chat all day while we do other stuff. So don't feel ignored if you're not getting your questions answered.
Apologies if we do miss you. It's not intentional. It's never intentional, folks.
Sprue and Glue, when he says, do you ever get the feeling you're not wanted or unwelcome somewhere? And Scale Modelling Chaos says, yes, but I keep telling them they are my parents. Iron Man 129 says, morning Colin, Fox and Dad and chat, hope everyone is well. Imagine my luck during my nightly insomnia to find you guys live.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You know, these are now going to be a regular thing these Fridays. When I finished butchering this poor Baneblade, I shall be doing the Valkyrie, is it?
Oh yes.
See, so there's plenty more Warhammer goodness to come, folks. So I'm going to use the Friday shows as my foray into the world of Warhammer. So
Yeah. Comrade Junction's in and says, hello, how is everyone? Welcome, Comrade
fine,
Junction.
Archie, yourself, mate.
Hello, Archie. I do have to apologise, by the way, that like Colin and Dad and everybody, they know everybody by their real names. Yeah. I suck at names. I absolutely suck bishop at names. I don't remember somebody's name. I don't remember my parents' names.
Yeah, you are bad.
So I do apologise that I'll always refer to people by their handle on YouTube, because a lot of the times I either don't know their names or I do know their names. But I can't remember. I know Bob Smith, but I don't remember that he is also Sniper X45 on YouTube. I always get confused. So I do apologise if I ever don't use your proper name, but I use your YouTube handles because I don't know. I'm too stupid.
Oh yeah, I'm useless, mate.
Fox has drilled some barrels and one figure in nearly 2 hours. That is a record, says Jamie. Damn straight it's a record.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed you've done that much, to be
don't
honest.
forget, of course, I also buggered up and repaired a barrel in that 2 hours as well, let's be honest.
Yeah, you did a bit of salvaging.
I did a bit of salvaging, and I hope I don't need to use the actual barrel that I sacrificed. I'll probably find I need that later on.
Yeah.
Panzer Koenig's in, says morning, folks.
Hello, Panzer. You all right, mate? It fits.
Does it fit? Oh, look at that. Oh, trouser tent.
You want a trouser tent of goodness, don't you, mate?
Does whatever a trouser tent does. Is it level, though?
Not quite. It just needs a bit of shufty.
Fetlage. Bit of fetlage.
Yeah, a little bit of a shufty.
Bit of finagling.
But it'll go. Because don't forget, it's Orc as well, so it's not exactly, how can we say, going to be pleasantly mounted, is it? It's going to be...
Steady now. I knew a girl like that once.
Yeah, it's going to be Orcs in it, you know,
Yeah, apparently when I got my little tap and die set out, Edward Lennon was like, yeah, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah, no. This rate next week, I have a tool belt and a hard hat. I will not have a tool belt and a hard hat. I might have a utility kilt. Yeah. I've always wanted a kilt. So the Scottish half of me has always wanted a kilt. What my clan would be?
Mine would be the Rose Clan.
Mine would, well, my dad's surname was Halloran, but that wasn't his birth surname. He was kind of adopted by some aunts. So I think my clan would be Sheedy, I think. Yeah. I think it's Sheedy. I don't know if that's even a clan. I don't know if there's a clan Sheedy.
Yeah, mine would be the Rose Clan, because that was my wife's maiden name.
Good Scottish name, that, Rose.
Yeah.
Not really. Then again, Sheedy sounds really Irish, so for me, I don't know which clan it will be. But yeah, I actually quite fancy a kilt. I've never had a kilt.
Yeah, I think I'd get arrested if I walked around in a kilt. People go, oh my God, there's that strange man in a kilt again. There you go.
Let's have a look.
Down a bit, down. Oh. And it moves. And it moves.
I may have to just stay sat down for a minute.
Yeah, same here, mate. I think I might just need to a bit longer.
Oh, a bit of moisture.
Oh, matron.
He's all shaky handy now.
Yeah, it's one of them. You like say you're cutting a chunk out of a Baneblade, and you're like,
you know what you need to do though.
But when you then
need to
go
finagle
like
it, so you need to finagle it so you can mount a turret on top of that.
You're bad.
I am.
Oh man, I love that.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you're my hero when it comes to cutting the crap out of things, and
I've got to be applying snot glue.
Oh, why have you got snot glue?
Why? Because it's great for this. What I'm about
really?
to do. Yeah.
What, for hardcore stickage?
For hardcore stickage on scratch buildery stuff, and then you go over it with a bit of an extra fin, and it's stuck like the proverbial to a blanket.
Oh. Hey, I tell you what, are you going to do any fake welding seams on this? Any like pussy welding seams?
Yeah, because that's what that is good for.
Somebody, I can't remember who, I do apologise if you're watching, in the boom hut put a picture up of their Baneblade turret.
Yeah.
And it's all sandy colours, beautifully painted. And he's been, I can't remember who it is though, I do apologise, I'm rubbish for names. He's been spending ages painting it. And I remarked, he'd done the welding effect around some of the seams.
Yeah.
And I said, I really like that welding effect. How did you do it? And he posted a link to, I think it's Night Shift, isn't it? Night Shift Models or Midnight Shift.
Yeah.
The guy that speaks with a really cool sort of, hello, today we make model.
Yeah.
showing him how he used like real thin sausages of putty to make the little welding seams. I'm like, oh, that looks so fun. I
usually I run a bead of contact to clear along it, that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just run a bead along there and try to get the approximation of a weld seam. But
what this chap does is he gets like the Tamir putty.
Yeah.
And he rolls it into like a really hair thin sausage and wraps it round, and then he's got like a little piece of a Coke can made into almost like an ink nib on a cocktail stick. He's bent it round into a point.
Yeah.
So he puts the sausage of putty down, and then he just goes like that with this little cocktail stick with a bit of ink Coke can nib on it, just to make the little notch marks. And then he combines it with the edge of the plastic. He then scratches with a knife blade to make it look like it's been flame cut.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's flame cut steel with a welding seam on it.
Oh, nice.
And it was like, it looks really simple, but I wouldn't have the patience to do it because I can't be bothered. But yeah, whoever it was in the boom hut, and I do apologise, I can't remember who it was. It's beautiful. He's done beautiful work on his turret. He says he's been working on it. He calls it the Iron Duke. But I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was, but he's done some like amazing paint on him. But yeah, it looks fantastic.
I mean, for me, it's just making something different.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. Because there's a lot of Baneblades out there that have been built, and they've all been built beautifully. And who am I to say they haven't? But as you know, it's, can you Festerize it? Well, of course I can. Depends on how far you want me to Festerize it. Yeah, go orcs, because you can do anything you want when it's orcs. Oh well, there you go. Then you know what's going to happen now. And
well, that's why I thought of orcs when I thought you just have to just build something up because you're going to love it. Knowing what you're like with you have to fiddle with stuff.
Yeah.
Out the box is boring. I want to just fiddle with it and fettle with it.
Yeah. This stage is always the hardest part because I've only got a tiny section of what would have been, that turret.
If you weren't putting electronics in that, I would say put 2 cannons in those open bits above the tracks.
Yeah,
they're like gun ports.
But yeah, you've got all the electrics to go in there and all of that. But I kind of see it in my head how I'm going to do it. It's just remembering that I've got to get back inside it to do the electronics. I am going to be putting magnets in to hold this down. I just need to tidy up areas where there's joinage. Not too tidy because it's orcs. Yeah, it's just bung chunks of metal on anything. But
yeah, you'll have loads of sheet metal and corrugated iron and
tidy enough to look like it's been done deliberately untidy, if that makes sense.
Did you have a look into the Forge World barbed wire?
Yes, I have. And
I don't know if they still sell it.
There may be something along them lines that may be getting implemented on here without giving the game away too much.
Ooh. For those that don't know, Forge World do a photo etch barbed wire. It's just like hair fine.
And it's going to have the crane coming out of it with a big ball and spikes on it. And,
yes, you get to see. Now you're thinking with portals.
Yeah, because I thought, well, you wanted orky goodness, you're going to get orky goodness.
It's not that I wanted it. I just thought it would be a perfect fit for your style.
It's one of them, isn't it? It's you go with suggestions because you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, and you know me well enough as a builder now to know that if you go for that, it'll work for you because you get to express yourself. So
that's why I did it.
For me, it's like, no worries, and I get it now, and it's like, I'll do that. I'll happily do that.
Sprue and Glue asks me, Fox, do you suffer with lockjaw like get earache? I don't get that reference.
No idea.
Sean Wiles is in. He says, just got out of bed to pee, check my phone, and saw you 2 goons are on. You'd be surprised how many people discover us because they've got up for peeing.
Yeah, and they're like, what is that noise? It's them 2 idiots live again. Yes. We will be doing regular Friday night lives of Baneblade builds and goodness and all kinds of shenanigans.
I get the feeling this Baneblade's going to last you a good few months, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's going to last a little while, isn't it?
I don't know why, but I'm getting Dalek vibes from it.
It's got that feel about it, isn't it?
It's because the turret is like raised up. It's got that Dalek shape to it. I kind of like it.
Exterminate.
Explain.
Why did I just do that?
I don't know. Sprue and Glue clarifies. He says, "Oops, my comment was not aimed at the stream, guys. Sorry."
Oh, bless him.
So he says that, and everybody sort of like tried to counsel him and make him feel welcome. And he's like, "I actually didn't mean to put that in the chat. Sorry."
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the different turretages and thinking, oh, turny. Oh.
Sprue and Glue says about the power tools. He says, "Yeah, don't wake us up with power tools."
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm always conscious of doing too much sanding or anything on a live stream because, yeah.
Well, I've discovered that, you remember when me, you and Chris hung out and changed all our microphone settings?
Yes.
When I do sanding now, if I'm not talking, because we set it onto auto, the noise reduction, sanding doesn't trigger microphone at all.
Oh,
if you watch my live streams, if I do sanding now, if I'm sitting here doing like something like that,
yeah,
the microphone won't pick it up. It might do now because I'm doing it really loudly, but I'll see myself sanding on a stream to be silent until I start talking. So that noise reduction thing that Chris put us on for our Yetis is brilliant.
I don't think I've got that.
Yeah, I think we all set it the same. You got the same.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so we did.
Yeah, it was like the automatic, auto, whatever it was.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, pay attention, Festa, to what people are teaching you.
Yeah.
But no, I did my audio on the e-models thing with me surround on for the first time, so hopefully it come out all right.
Oh, I don't know. You mean with your the little phone
that phone thing that you said to get hold of.
Yes, yeah, it sounded good.
I sent you a picture last night of it, and it was like, yes, I finally got it, and I'm getting to use it. So I'll play with that, but let me know, folks, how the audio sounds on the e-models video, and if you're happy with it. And
the thing that really annoys me, really gets my goat is, I spent a fortune getting a decent Yeti microphone. Yeah. Because my videos always had like rough audio. I spent a fortune buying a Yeti microphone.
Yeah.
I spent money buying multiple microphone mounts and insulating surrounds shields to go around the microphone to deaden the sound. But what I've discovered is it's perfect everywhere except when I'm at the bench. Because if I talk to the microphone like this, it sounds fine. The shield can do its sound deadening thing and the microphone can do its business. As soon as I look down to the desk to do some work, I go like this. The microphone now picks up 1 billion times more bass.
Well, yeah, because it's bouncing back off the desk, I suppose, is it?
Yeah. So although the setup now is perfect for voiceover and doing live streams when I'm sat facing my computer monitor, when I'm doing it at the bench, it still sounds like I'm using the garbage microphone in this webcam because of the boom, the bassy boom. Yeah, so all that money I've spent on the microphone, mostly for live streams, and it still sounds like I'm using the C920 microphone. It's so sad.
But your stream audio sounds good now.
Yeah, but that's because I'm looking up. If I go down here like this and I'm looking down on the desk, it's a shame because when I'm doing like the e-model show, I'm facing the other way, so it's perfect. And when I'm doing a live stream with a game or a voiceover, it's perfect. Yeah. Here on the bench, it's bouncy. If I put
mate, these Yetis are brilliant. I mean, I was skeptical at first.
Oh yeah.
I thought, it's a lot of money, blah blah blah, but. Yeah, I mean, the feedback I've had from people, I mean, prime example there, Archie saying, the e-models video is really good. So,
I mean, you sound fantastic in my $4.99 FBI man's earpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, but you just like hearing me talk anyway, because you like to get me to say stuff, don't you? So,
free for £1.
Free for £1. Fault handles.
But the thing I've noticed as well is, if I put something soft on the workbench, like when I've been working, sometimes I'll put if I've got a model that I don't want to rub the paint off because it's not been varnished, you'll see me put a t-shirt down just so I can rest the model. When I do that, it fixes the audio completely because there's no reflected sound. So it makes the sound perfect again. But it's because I've got this reflective surface here. When I face the microphone, it's great. But as soon as I look down, it just boosts the bass. And I'm a real audiophile when it comes to recording, so it really irks me that I spent all that money and it sounds half the time it sounds like I'm still using the crappy microphone on this camera, but never mind.
I noticed it voiceover last night when I was doing it in Adobe, and with the sound deadener around it, it was so responsive on the gauges and everything, it was really precise. So that alone has helped, all right, it's additional money, but as we're doing a lot more video content for e-models going forward, So yeah, you might as well invest in this stuff now just to make the quality better for people, isn't it?
It's not so much that, but it's really, you know, my channel's doing okay, and you're getting subscribers now. You're doing really well, and as you guys start to get more and more subs, and you're doing more and more content, you're asking people to come and watch your material.
Yes.
And this is the way I've always felt, right? I'm asking people to take time out of their day to watch my nonsense for half an hour, whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm saying to the people, will you come and watch my stuff for half an hour, please? Just come and watch my content.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. I then have an obligation to make sure that if I want them to come and watch my stuff, I want them to have as pleasant experience as possible.
Yes.
But if I'm holding a camera, if I'm filming on my phone and holding the camera doing that, and I'm recording it on a microphone that's made out of a bit of string and a dead cat, and it sounds like absolute biblical ass, that's not me. I'm not keeping up my part of the bargain. I can't say to people, come and watch my stuff, but I can't be bothered making it nice quality for you. That sounds really bad. So I've not always done good quality, and I've still got, you know, compared to some production, this is tin cans and bits of string, but
but we all started that way. I mean, I started with a tea tray and a GoPro on my head.
I started with bits of packing foam and a biscuit tin with the iPhone taped to it.
You know, and we all started. It's funny. I mean, this year, or say this year, predominantly latter part of last year, I started going through all my old video archive.
Oh, you don't want to do that ever. You really don't want to do that.
Just to try and update some of it and see whether I could improve. Do you remember the background fans and all of that lot? Just to see whether I could filter that out.
Did you actually come out of it wanting to end your own life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a golden rule for anybody that wants to do YouTube. Don't ever go back and watch your old stuff. You will just want to end it all.
It is amazing. One, how dark everything was.
Yep.
Because obviously we didn't have the lighting we've got now. This is all what you learn the more you make videos. You know, free sources of light and all of that type of thing.
At least, yeah.
The fact that I was videoing it on an old 480p camcorder. You know, like you say, the audio was, you know, the inbuilt camcorder microphone. So every time you moved, it was hello over there. You know that, and you look at it and you think, holy moly.
That's the thing. Like we all use the Logitech C920 camera, the webcam.
Yes.
Because apart from Chris, none of us can afford the new Logitech Brio 4K camera that's like 500 quid.
Yeah, we'd all love one, but that's
so we'd all love one. But if you can't afford that, this is by far, even like 3 or 4 years down the line, this is by far the best webcam for streaming. The Logitech C920. But what people forget is, although it's by far the best webcam, it's one of the worst microphones you will ever use. It is just absolute. You could be in the most sound deadened room and it will make you sound like you're in the most reflective tiny toilet cubicle in the world. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to do live streaming and you've got a C920, don't use the microphone.
That's the first thing we all do when we go into the settings. Any webcams we've got, be it this one you're looking at now or the face cams, first thing you do is you go in, you disable the microphone.
Yeah, I'm not spending 100 quid on a Yeti to use a crappy webcam microphone.
Because honestly, they're ass. They really are, mate.
Yeah, you're paying your money for the camera. The microphone's just some crap.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I always think there's it's a bargain between me and the people watching. I'm asking them to come and watch my stuff.
Yes.
The least I can do is try and make the best quality stuff I can. And I know over the years I've produced varying quality of stuff, from downright terrible to all right. But I'm not, I'm not some like multi-million sub YouTuber that can spend 10 grand on a studio setup. I'll do the best with what I've got, and hopefully I do the best with what I've got. So, but I have that commitment, and it sounds like I'm getting quite finicky about stuff sometimes, but it's just that I want to. It's not because I want to get lots of subscribers and get the views and all that. I do, obviously, but that's not why I'm doing it. I want to make sure that I'm upholding my part of the bargain. Yeah. If I'm asking people to sacrifice that time to benefit me, then it's only fair that I, put my effort in and give them as good a quality
stuff the least you can do.
Yeah. I would not do a handheld camera shot for any. occasionally I might, if I have to film something that's too big and I have to hold the camera and move it up.
Yeah.
Like my Mega Size RX78 too, but I'll apologise and say it's shaky cam time, sorry.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. You know, I think, well, at the end of the day, I want to try and get people to enjoy what I'm doing as much as possible. You know, we've all got that where we've had to invest a few quid in it. But I think for the right reasons, it's given us all a better result.
Yeah.
You know, my subscriber count's gradually going up now.
Yeah.
Because people are enjoying the content and the quality of the content that much better.
That's the thing. And, you know, to anybody doing a YouTube channel, you know, the trick is as much content as you can, as often as you can, and try and make it as good quality as you can. Nobody's expecting, you know, BBC TV quality broadcast the moment you start doing your first videos or live streams. Nobody expects that. You've all got to start off with what you've got, but always keep in mind you want to eventually get to the point where you're trying to use as much production value as you can. But there's lots of things I'd like to do.
Yes.
One day, if I get to, you know, 100,000 subs and I can afford to, like, you know, have my garage converted into a studio, that'd be great. But I don't think I'll ever get that.
No.
I think I'm just about on the verge of hitting 25,000 subs. I'll be lucky if I get to 30,000 subs before the end of the decade, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's gradually got slower. It's taken me 2 years to get from 20 to 25. I think I'm slowing down now. I need to make more content for a start, which might help.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my channel, you know, it grows, but it stagnates for periods of time as well, and that can be frustrating because you're like, really, you know. But it's grown, you know. I'll get 1,000 subs. I'm over the moon with that. It's now, you know, it's now sort of found its footing, and it's just okay. Let's just try and increase it more, you know. But
just getting the content coming out, and that's where the people
a lot of people that visit me channel, they're like, surprising for what you do that you haven't got more subs than you've got. And I go, yeah, but this time last year I only had 600. So
yeah. But I mean, I know myself that for the last couple of years I've kind of, for various reasons, I've not been able to produce as much content.
Yes.
And that's hurt me a lot in terms of, you know, getting new subscribers and stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully now I'm kind of beginning to turn that around, so that might start to improve. But I would love to be one of these channels where they've got like 100,000 subs, or, you know, a couple hundred. Like Midwinter Minis has got like 300,000 subs. You know, Spiky Bits has got God knows how many. Zach over at Zach Rensberg, over at Zach Aurelius, says he passed 100,000 subs, I think, last year.
Yeah.
And that was nice to see, because when I first started watching Zach, he was like 20,000 subs, which was nice. Yeah. But he produces content every single goddamn day, so
yeah.
But it'd be nice. But I don't think I will. But it'd be nice.
Yeah, it's one of those, you know. The way I look at it, my channel grows, you know, and that's about all I can hope for, really.
Yeah.
You know, it's doing its thing. People seem quite content with what I do, so as long as they come and visit me, I'll carry on doing it.
I mean, my overall goal, I mean, it may sound weird to say this. I do this for a living, but I don't do it for the money. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
My real goal for this channel is, for this channel, it's my channel, not your channel. My real goal for your channel is to earn me money. My goal for my channel is not to get filthy rich, because that's not going to happen. No. But it would be nice to get to the point where it can pay my bills and I don't have to think about having to go and get a job. Because not because I don't want to get a job, and not because I want to earn that money, but because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy teaching people, and if I can do it all day, every day for a living, then life's great. That's brilliant. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
It's not at that point right now. You know, that's why I depend on Patreon and stuff like that. But I'd love to get to the point. I'd love to get to the point where the channel by itself supports me, puts food on my table, and pays the bills. Because then I can stop having to ask people to pay like Patreon and stuff. I can stop depending on that and say, right, this channel now funds me completely. Everything is free for everybody. Yeah. Because all I want to do is teach people.
Yes.
And have fun and make content for people to watch.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I have to fund actually being alive at the same time, which is why Patreon stuff comes in. But
yeah, that's when being a grown-up becomes boring, isn't it?
Yeah. So right now, it's like it barely pays the bills even with Patreon stuff right now. So I'm very lucky that I'm in a situation where I can survive just about. But there may come a day when I'm like, you know what, I can't do it anymore because I'm not.
I'm in the same boat where I'm medically retired. And, you know, this is for me, you know, funding the hobby and keeping me going is all done through me patrons.
Yep.
And that's it. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do it.
No, I mean, right now, the way... I'm not going to go into details, obviously, but right now in my life, the situation is that I can afford to have very little income. It sounds really weird to say, but I can afford to not have much income.
Yes.
That might change, though. And if it changes, which it will at some point, I have no doubts.
Yeah.
If it changes, it may be a case of that's the end of the channel, because I've now got to go and get a job. And if I get a job, you'll be getting one video a month, and that's not going to be tenable.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just have to hope that in some way I can grow the channel fast enough now that when it gets to that point, the channel is self-sustaining. Either I've got enough patrons, or the channel itself sustains it and I don't need patrons anymore. Yeah. And then I know I can keep on it, because all I want to do is make fun videos for people and teach them how to do stuff now. That's all I want to do. I don't want to go and work in an office. I don't want to...
That's
right. I don't want to have to go and get a job and have somebody half my age bollock me because I've done something wrong, because that's humiliating.
Yeah. You know, my Yeti, that was paid for out of donations from patrons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to go and get that.
No,
because, you know, it's a lot of money. As simple as that.
Every time I, you know, get myself a kit or a piece of equipment, it's because I've saved it up from the money I've got from Patreon and stuff. So they pay my bills. My entire money to live off is Patreon right now.
You know, without them, I'd be clagged. It's that simple.
Yeah, but it's only because my situation right now is that it's tenable. If this situation, I'm not going to go into details, but if the situation changes, that's no longer tenable, and I don't know what will happen then. So yeah, that's why I'm going to start doing as much content as I can now, because I really need to get the channel growing. Well, my goal is that at some point it becomes self-sustaining, and I don't need to depend on patrons and things like that. I'd rather not have to ask anybody for any money. But we'll see. It might not ever happen. I don't know. 5 years from now, I might be working in B&Q as a greeter. I don't know. I have no skills, and I'm too old to go and get a job in the tech industry or whatever. So
yeah, this is the thing. I've been out the tech industry now too long.
Yep. I mean, it might be that I have to go off and get like a part-time job in a shop or something just to do it. But it's more the case of the part of me knows, because I've done it in the past. If I had to get up every day and go to work for 9 hours, and then come home, I'd be getting up at 7 or 8 in the morning, going to work. By the time I got home, I'd have to get home, do any household stuff, you know, washing, cooking, cleaning, all that kind of stuff, do all that, make my dinner, eat my dinner, do anything else that needed doing, and by then it's like 10 o'clock at night and I've not got the energy to do a video or a live stream.
Yeah.
So my content would just drop more than normal. So which is why now situations, stars have aligned a little bit. I need to get my finger out and get content coming out of the wazoo, because I need to try and get the subs coming now. And because I've not been doing content for a couple of years, because of various reasons, not from laziness, just for various circumstances. Yeah, it's kind of slowed. It's taken 2 years to get from 20 to 25,000. So I need that not to be the case now.
Yeah, it's a tough one though, isn't it? Because for various reasons, we've all sort of had our foot off the gas. You know, I mean, I'm waiting for a major surgery again, and so I've had that kind of preparation off camera to look at, and all the medical visits to deal with that, and to start the ball rolling, and obviously the chocolate velociraptor. So I've not been able to churn out the content as much as I normally would. Yeah. Whereas now that that's settled down a bit and we know that it's going to happen this year, I can now focus, do a bit of binge building ready for when I'm out of the loop, so to speak.
Yeah,
so,
just to get it done ready, and then it gives you a bit of a break to recover before you get back into it.
Absolutely, and that's where I am at the moment. And, you know, there's going to be quite a few builds in short succession for remodels from me, because I'm going to be out the loop for a little bit. So look out for them, folks, because they're happening for a reason.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Have a quick look at
keep your eyes peeled.
EC Idaho says, hello all, hope everyone is having a good night. Welcome, EC Idaho.
Hello, EC.
Hello, dude. William Rayborn is back.
Hello, William.
Sprue and Glue says, 25,000 subs. Oh my God, 2 years in, I'm still not 100 subs. It's all about content, churn it out. I was lucky because I did that D'Agostini Millennium Falcon, and that boosted my stats for a bit. And
but
then
the thing is, it will come, mate. It really will, because I thought that, you know, when I set my channel up, I thought if I got 50 subs, I'd be an happy man.
I
And all
thought
of a sudden, you got 100.
when I started it, I didn't think I'd get anywhere. I thought it'd just be like I'd do it for a month and I'd get bored because nothing would happen. And then I did that D'Agostini thing. It's like bang, 5,000 subs. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I was just lucky at the time that no one else was really doing it. So
Yeah, Fox. Movage.
oh, look at that. That's just little tiny bit of sex weed come out then.
Isn't it?
However, you're giving yourself a tricky painting challenge there.
Yeah, but it can still pop out of the holder.
Ooh, steady now.
I know.
You're going to pop out unexpectedly.
But I kind of want it to move quite freely because I might want to connect a stepper motor to it so it goes bzz, 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 bzz.
You want the bzz, bzz, bzz.
I do.
Next thing you know, you're going to have it firing little tiny BB pellets, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to end up turning up when we go to E-models and I'll go, here, do you want to touch the Baneblade? You'll be going, oh, can I?
Fires actual BB pellets.
I go, oh, look, you can move the turrets, Fox, and it'll go bzz, 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 bzz.
You know what will
Even
happen now?
good, I can do the up and downy.
You know what will happen now is Festa will get this built, right? He'll have this built, and 6 months from now, I'll be like, you know what? I want to do another one, but this one, I want to put actual wheels and tracks on it.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, I want to take
wheels.
out the wheel units and build entire wheel units. Just, I want to build... And you'll be scratch building a Baneblade before you know it. 10 years from now, you'll have scratch built a Baneblade.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
You'll be like, I need all the plastic card in the world, stat.
Yeah, it would be nice if it had movable tracks because then I could motorise it and it would be full RC.
Yeah, you ask too much of Games Workshop, I think, for that one. I have seen there was a chap, I think a German chap, or it may have been Russian, who actually built an enormous scratch-built Baneblade that's fully remote controlled. But it's huge. I mean, it was massive. He literally sat on it and trundled around.
Well, I'm hoping that people will think that this Baneblade's going to have enough firepower on it because I think I might need a bit more.
I think there's always a reason to have more.
You know, more guns, the better.
Yeah, more DACA is always the way forward.
You want me to put turret on, don't you?
I want turrets on the turret.
You said that before, didn't you? You want turrets on there.
Oh, a little bit of a coaxial gun there, and you have the big chopper Baneblade cannon.
One of them bad boys. Boom, boom. And I think I can shoehorn that one in there.
I think, is there any way you can make, like, between the turret and the base that the turret's on, make like a 3-inch tall extra box of armour of some sort so the turret's well high up and stupid looking?
What this?
Yeah, so you might just hold that turret up like about 3 inches higher.
Oh.
I imagine you're going to motorise it, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then you have like some enormous like tower of something. You build like a tower. That would just be so utterly stupid.
But it'll work.
It'll work. Although if it hadn't been done already by Max, I would say somehow build a rhino into it as well, but I know Max did that. Max's Baneblade actually has a rhino as the turret, which is fantastic.
I just like that boomstick or boomability and
that is rather divine, I have to say.
Yeah,
it is most excellently divine, my friend.
Oh, look at that. Oh, tinted.
Then its end fell off. Oh dear.
Yeah, I will glue that on, but I just need to DC.
Yeah, just not right now, eh?
No.
So much moisture going on right now.
There is. There's all kinds of
excess moistness happening.
Yeah. I am so glad that I went with Orking it.
There's more moistness going on right now than Frank Boff surfing the porn channel.
That sounds so wrong. Yeah,
if that's nothing if not in any way current events.
Yeah, who would have thought it, eh, Frank Boff?
A Frank Boff
allegedly.
A Frank Boff reference in 2021.
Yeah.
What more do you need?
Of course, this is all allegedly, of course.
He's dead. He doesn't have to worry about that.
Is he? Oh, I didn't know that.
He died years ago. He was, he was all like in disgrace for like activities involving chemicals and other things that a
Yeah.
BBC presenter shouldn't really.
Yeah.
Although I couldn't believe it. I saw a picture of anybody who doesn't know who Frank Boff is, of course, you can just stop listening now. But I saw a picture of Frank Boff on
I love that.
on Grandstand, right? And it was him sat at the desk,
Yeah.
the presenter's desk, and it was in 1970, I don't know, 4 or 5 or something. And he was 10 years younger than us. And he looked like an old man. He looked in his 60s, his 50s. He had like
Really?
a balding head and all. And I thought, dear Lord, he looked old when he was in his 30s or 40s.
Yeah, I got one of them.
No, I mean, he had like the comb over then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've never
You know,
understood.
like he looked in the 1980s when he was like 60.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like when he was in his 30s in the 1970s.
I've never understood combos. Oh, I could go for a bit of an extendable.
Well, you see,
couldn't I?
I think nowadays you just shave your head and give yourself a number 1 or a number 2.
Yeah.
And nobody would think twice about it. But in the 1970s, if you did that, you'd kind of be a bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be a skinhead, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because this guy is giving it right high up in the air, shooting his rifle.
Do you know, I'm going to add that to it and all and extend the boomage.
We're going to do what? What are you going to do?
I'm adding that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then that is going on there.
This seems... Or would that fit on the other end? Because that's a muzzle brake, that big square bit. Would that fit on the other end and give it a big fat ass muzzle? It wouldn't really work, would it?
Like that. But obviously remove this and shove that in.
I don't know. That maybe not. It does look like a big fat ass muzzle brake.
Doesn't it?
But I don't know if it's better at the other end, at the turret end. I don't know. You might be right.
Does it work better there with that on like that? Obviously this bit will get act off. Actually, I'll do that now.
Well, why don't you full screen yourself and put it to the audience and see which they think looks best.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly go and get myself some more water. So give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Audience. What do you reckon? Oh, let's get rid of that and shove that in there. So we go like that with that way. Or do we go like that and have it that way? What do you reckon? So that's what we're up against. That's what we're thinking.
I can't believe you just referred to all our viewers as audience.
Audience, yes.
The audience.
The audience, yes.
So,
Because
yes,
I'm
so
from
which one do you
1972.
guys in the chat think? Do you prefer the muzzle brakes at the end? Or do you prefer the muzzle brake at the base of the turret, where the turret is? Which do you think is best?
Yeah, I just don't know why. It seems to appeal to me further back. Don't know why.
EC says, Colin, nice extension to the barrel, and also asks Frank who? Yeah, if you don't know Frank Boff in the 1980s in the UK, you don't know.
So you
Candy
could have
Graham
it
says
on
your
the
Baneblade looks epic already.
Edward Leonard says first way, so he means that way, yeah?
It's kind of hidden under your banner, your super chat banner, I'm afraid.
Oh, sorry, mate. Hold up. Let's get rid of that banner a minute. Get hold of that.
There we
you
go. Look at the size of that.
You can have that there
So he thinks that one.
with that way.
Iron Man 129 says it's a tough choice. It looks great both ways, but he'd say at the base, so at the turret end.
Yeah.
EC like it back. Colin, I vote for the first option, says EC Idaho.
Yeah.
Sean says big muzzle brake. Turn muzzle brake at base, but other way round. So the block at the base.
Yeah. And then have that like that.
Could do, maybe.
Could do.
And Candygram corrects his spelling. Break as in B-R-A-K-E, not break as in smash.
James Ryan
I
says
like the
all
short
the
piece.
barrels.
Short piece first and then the barrel, says William.
Yeah.
Sean Wiles is the only single voice in the night that shouts the second way. The sheer ridiculousness of a double muzzle brake clinches this one for me. So I think he prefers the muzzle brake at the other end.
At that end.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, isn't it? It is the ridiculousness of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, this is classic. Oh, you'd have like 6 muzzle brakes on it.
Yeah, it is. It's just got that look about it.
Yeah, you have to vent the gas and then vent the gas that's not vented when the last time you vented the gas.
Yeah, it has got that extreme ridiculousness about it, isn't it?
Plus, the reason you want the big fat guns is because occasionally a grot or a Gretchen may actually fall into the gun and get fired out of it. So you've got to make sure it's big enough for a Gretchen to go through the barrel and get fired out the other end.
Yeah, he says he likes the gigantic long barrel on the disproportionately small tire.
Can I just point out, you haven't built any of the figures yet, have you?
No.
Just so people get an idea of scale, a typical human being would be, if you could just put your finger on the side above the wheels, Col, just above those little sticky out bits.
Sorry, if I put what?
If you put your finger alongside the side of the tank,
yeah,
and go, that's about, if you go up a little bit, that's about the height of a human being.
Oh, blimey, really?
In the scale of that, yeah. If you look at on the sprue with the commissar that's stood up, you'll see how tall the dude is.
Yeah.
A person's probably about that tall stood next to it, just so they get an idea of how big that thing actually is.
Oh, wow. Scan model Chaos has got a point. The second way is the muzzle brake connected to the turret wouldn't work, as all the rounds would not even get out of the barrel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because on that barrel itself, that gun itself, that little stubby bit is the entire gun for one option. That's the entire...
Yeah.
That's one gun by itself. You can have a little short stubby gun. But...
Yeah.
So it would make more sense stuck on the end.
Yeah.
But then you've got those two little pistons on the side that don't seem to go anywhere. You'd have to cobble together something for them to go into.
Yeah, I can put some flexible piping in or something and have it just run along the barrel into whatever.
How about, because if you do that, can that long barrel be any way around, or does it have to have the vents at the side? Can it be oriented, or is it locked into a certain orientation?
It's got a tit on it on the top there.
Oh, okay.
It's got a peg, so it goes that way with parallel down sides.
Okay.
So the vents would be there.
Yeah, because you'd have them pipes going over them vents, then, wouldn't you? Unless you cobbled together a little bit of piping that took those two side bits into the big hole at the front of the muzzle brake.
Yeah, just sent them in there out the way.
Like, the little hole that's just behind the two...
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just goes in there.
But wouldn't the round hit the pipe as it comes along?
I don't know. It would do.
Unless I send them up and have it go along the top.
You could have. Why don't you get... If you want it to look really shonky, just get some... wire and make it look like it's cabling. That bit at the front is like metal, and then there's like a cable that just comes out and wraps around the turret, like some wiring, but like real thick, heavy gauge wiring. Yeah, it's got potential, mate. You can just use like electrical wiring then that you can loop around and
just wind it around here.
Yeah, or have it hanging down under the barrel or whatever you want to do it. Cause it's got to be cobbled, isn't it?
Exactly. It's just going to be something that they've come up with to
So everybody voted to have that muzzle brake at the turret end, but it actually looks better or works more sense at the end.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Cheers, folks. Muchly appreciated.
Have you got any other weapons still on the sprue?
I've got a few. I've got all the guns. Don't forget that go on these plates. Yeah, they've all got to go on there.
Oh, the little grenade launchers.
Yeah, and then I've got all the guns in the sponsons along the side and all.
That's right. Have you got any other turrets there? Any proper cannon weapons?
No. I don't think so.
Do you know, compared to yours and compared to Chris's, my standard Baneblade with its Baneblade guns laid out standard is kind of feeling a bit small now.
Yeah, I've got some more guns. I've got some ladders, some dudes, and loads of plates to add to it. So I've got all of them.
Okay.
Some more exhausts as well. So there'll be more exhaust pipes added.
Although Candygram comes up with a big point.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Edwin Lilla says it's got a tit on it. Because you said that. It's got a tit on it.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible, and I'm sorry, folks.
Candygram makes a good point about when we were saying the muzzle brake wouldn't work at one end.
Yeah.
He says, but it will work with the brake at the wrong end if the orcs think it will work. Because this is how orcs work. Orcs have certain psychic abilities.
But also, don't forget, I could cover them holes up with just an odd piece of styrene.
Maybe. Look a bit boring though, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Grab something coming out of it.
But yeah, orcs only work, tech only works because the orcs believe it would work. They could take a rock and a pencil and make it a car, and it would work like a car because they believed it would work. It's kind of 40k magic law.
That's orc logic.
Yeah, nobody can figure out how orc tech works because it doesn't unless the orcs believe it works. Orc magic.
Sounds about right.
So you could put a gun that bent round 90 degrees and it would still work. The shell would still go around the corner.
Oh, mate, I'll give it a go.
But whatever you think works, dude.
It's one of those, isn't it?
Phil East says, absolute wordsmith, quote, it's got a tit on it, quote.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
Never apologise. Sprue and Glue said it still needs flamethrowers above the track plates.
Yeah, don't be like Festa, folks. Oh, yeah, look. Oh. Is that what we're going for? Oh.
If you think that's what you want, then that's what you want. It just happens. The thing is, right, when you do this kind of cobbling together and scratch building, if something happens to fit together, then it's meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, that'll do.
I mean, I say happens to fit together, you've just hacked a piece off with the saw, but even though, if it just still happens to fit together...
This is, I have you know, Fox, is all strategically and mathematically calculated.
Yes.
Yeah.
I calculate it after I sawed the bit off.
Yeah, yeah.
I calculate with a damn great saw. Dirty great lasers.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Don't forget as well, folks, you got to hear the immortal lines. It's got a tit on it.
The absolute wordsmith. I must admit, when you said that, I'm like, my brain was like, did he just say it's got a tit on it? I'm thinking, I know exactly what it means, but is that what he just said?
I used to always get in trouble when I used to go to the chemist because I used to go in and go, can I have some spare tits for me baby's bottles? Right, yeah, I know.
And they knew what you meant, but...
And the chemist would just look at me and they'd go, you mean teats? I said, that's what I just said, tits. She's like, no, teats. I said, the bit that goes on the end of the bottle that the baby sucks, the tit. I said, I'll just go get you some tits. So, yeah. Yeah.
Free for a pound.
Oh, honestly, I'm useless, let's be honest.
Yeah, but that's why we love you, Cole, then, because of the way you are.
Yeah, welcome to Festa, the man that has systematically destroyed the English language as you knew it.
But somehow, ironically, at the same time, made it infinitely better at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I broke you again Monday, didn't I, on e-models yet again?
Oh, God, yeah.
But I was all right the week before. But this week, see, the way we have our cameras set up on e-models is, if you imagine the centre of this screen, thunk, been your monitor, which it probably is coincidentally been that you're watching this on your monitor.
That is actually strange enough. Exactly.
Yeah, we have our webcams positioned there in the middle of our screens on various brackets that we've cobbled together.
Oh, yeah.
So we end up either looking around the wires that are hanging down this way or across.
Which is why you see us leaning around all the time.
And you see us leading. This is where they laugh because I read across the screen, but I have my window shrunk right down with the factoid on like a little strip along the bottom where it says my name at the moment.
Shrink your windows.
There. So, of course, when I'm reading out the factoid, where my webcam is sat about here, the way we have the screen laid out in 4 is just there. I can see Fox start corpsing, and that sets me
And then
off.
the hat goes up.
The hat goes up, and then I hear and see the shoulders going, and I get the giggles. See?
Yeah, but the thing is, right, it's worse for me because I know I get the shoulders going a little bit, but when you start corpsing, your entire body's like heaving all over the place.
Oh yeah, I do.
It's even better
giggles because in my head, I know what I'm trying to say, and it sounds so good. And I sit there and think, I've got this. I sat there Monday, I thought, I've got this now this week, mate. I'm on the ball. And it just got systematically worse as time went on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To adapt an old quotation, there's many a slip twixt a brain and lip.
Oh, mate. But yeah, it's just one of those. And what done it for me is, I'm looking at the screen. I can see you've gone, Ted's gone. I've got a Chris was sat there slowly face.
And now he just sits there like letting it all wash over him, doesn't
And
he?
that just done me even more because he was expressionless, and that gave me the giggles even more.
I think that's Chris. I think that's Chris's way of like dealing with it, is just to pretend it's not happening.
Oh, it's brilliant. Well, I could just see the people in the chat typing stuff, and that got me giggling, and that was it. It just went wrong. Well, it just went massively downhill, didn't it, from then on?
Well, there's a very good reason that Festa's factoid section is Mama Fox's favourite bit.
Thing is, though, I thought I'd all right this week. These look pretty easy.
Well, that's the thing, though. If it all goes well, that's boring.
Yeah, I mean, the week before I'd done well. I thought, I'm getting this nailed. We're going to have to think of something different for the show now because I'm pronouncing all of these right.
The jokes died
Until last week, and it all went wrong again. It was like,
but it's like when you do like a complex Russian name and get it right, and then you stumble over the British bloke Bob Smith or something.
well, the thing is I sit there and I try to mouth the word as I think it sounds, and that's when it goes wrong. Because my gob seems to move in a totally different way to my brain.
What makes it really funny, what makes it really hilarious, is, you know, like in that split second, your brain will imagine forming your mouth into the right shape, and then you'll say the word. Yeah. But sometimes your brain will imagine your mouth forming into the right shape, and then you'll spend 30 seconds practicing the shape of your mouth, and you'll be like, I can't do it on camera, but your mouth will be like,
it's
like you're having a turn or something, and you spend 10 seconds just trying to form, and we'll be watching your mouth practice for 10 seconds.
I mean, you said last week I could see in your head exactly what you're trying to do, and it's even funnier because none of it is working for you. And I'm like, nice to know you got me back, mate.
It's not that I can see in your head, it's that I can see in your head because your mouth's portraying exactly what your brain's trying to do. It's like your brain's supposed to run this. Your brain is supposed to run the simulation.
Yes.
And then tell the mouth what to do. But unfortunately, there's a permanent connection between the brain and the mouth. So the brain's running the simulation and the mouth's just doing the simulation.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the problem. Your mouth's sitting there going,
oh, yeah. It just went so systematically wrong from that moment on for me. And I'm like, yeah.
But you know what? If you got it right, we'd just fire you.
Oh, mate, it was... My missus like, what on earth are you laughing at? What was it you was trying to say? And I told her, and she went, I still ain't got a clue what it is you're trying to say. I said, you had to be there, love.
You know, like, you sit there and you say, he was an astronomimer.
Yeah. But this is the thing, I'm like, I see the word coming up as I'm getting to it. And I'm like, I'm not going to cock it up this week. I'm going to say it properly. So I'm like, yeah, I can do this. So in my mind, I'm already ruined, you know, because I've already convinced myself that I can do it. And then as soon as I get to it, I'm like, yeah, here it comes, and he's an astronomer. And it's like,
the thing is, it's like when you tie your shoelace, you just tie your shoelace.
Yes.
But if I ask you to explain how you tie your shoelace, you couldn't do it. You'd be like, you have to, and you'd be strumbling. And that's what happens, I think, is if you just pronounce the word, you just pronounce the word. But because you're thinking about pronouncing the word, you just... All I will say is don't ever take up juggling chainsaws. It's probably best if you don't do that.
Yeah, no, the fault of that, mate, I think, even I would struggle with that. Oh, thank you, Edward. Edward's just put in a $2.99 super chat for me.
And he's put a little word in,
much.
He's put a little special word in there for you.
Tit.
No, but it's an acronym. Tit on it.
Yeah, it's got a tit on it, isn't it?
Tit on it. Absolute wordsmith. I like that.
You're going to be so sitting there tomorrow going to 10. You'll never guess what that Pilcher friend said. What's that?
In the inimitable words of Festa, it's got a tit on it, isn't it?
It's got a tit on it, isn't it?
At some point, I've got to do a video. I'm like, if it's got like a lock and key thing. I'm like, now you want to make sure this is the right way around, and you can tell it is because it's got a great big tit on it. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Not on any models video, obviously, but it's got a tit on it. Thank you for that, Edward. I can hear noises. I need to look at... You're still full screen, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, am I? Sorry. Yes. I'll...
Look at the post-it note. Look at the muzzle brake on that. That's a big chunky boy, that is. I'm really tempted to just get the one out of mine now, but I intend on playing my tank, so I can't add nonsense to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that hair. Hey, that's a big old muscle break, isn't it? Look at that hair. Oh.
See, technically, I think you could probably class the stuff coming out of that muzzle brake as an extra weapon because it just blasts out fire at the side.
Do you think with the extra 2 turrets on there, that'll be enough?
No. What makes you... What? Don't forget, you have to look. You have to, before you finish, you have to look at the sprues and see what other heavy weapons you've got that you can turretize.
Oh, yeah, there's still going to be stuff added to the top of these. I've got the Gatling guns. Yeah, I've got them in the bag. Where did I bung them?
I'm sure there's a heavy flamer weapon as well, a plasma weapon.
Yeah, you've
and
got
don't forget, of course, you've got that big chunky cannon in the middle.
Yeah,
but there's no coaxial gun for it.
Yeah, you've got all of them and all. Ooh.
What are those?
Guns.
Well, no, the guns. I mean,
I'm sorry, mate.
I don't recognise it. Is it like a?
Yeah, it's a.
Is it a stubber with a?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was the thing with that kit.
Yeah, it's in there.
Like
it's on the spruce, so I just cut it off and built it.
Oh, it's like that's for one of the turrets. That's a turret mounted. I didn't realise it was a pintle. It came with a shield.
Yeah, there they are. In there.
Oh, of course, those guns. Oh, right. Yeah,
they go on the one with the little small tit on it. Yeah, that one.
Small tit on it. Now, here's the important question.
Yeah.
Have you drilled out the barrel like a big boy?
On them ones, no. That's why I'm getting them out.
Ah.
Yeah. See, look, they're not drilled out yet. I've done all these turret ones. I've drilled.
You drilled them out. I drilled them out with the drill.
Drilled. Oh, God, get your words out, you pilch.
With that stubber, has it got a flare? Has it got like a flash hider? Is it like a flared barrel?
What, that one?
Yeah, this is a heavy stubber. Has it got like a flared?
Yeah, it's got a bit of a taper on the end of it. Yeah.
So it sticks out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. With those, I recommend if you drill them out, don't go too far in. You just really want to make a slight recess and then clean it up so it looks nice and neat. And then you can fill it with like a black wash later because you can't really go. It's really hard to make them in the middle, and if you get the taper wrong,
you go too deep, it's going to go a bit wrong in it.
Well, you're going to eat through the side of the tapered back of the flash hider. So with them, you just have to make a little concavity and just kind of paint it black.
Yeah, they're already drilled. Where's the other one gone? Come on, you little.
Sprue and Glue says, "What's them guns?" Phil East says. What's them then? Guns, you idiot. Phil East says, at a certain point, the Baneblade becomes a 2,000-point army. It does.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You can pretty much play this as your entire army now.
Mint though, isn't it? I like it.
Yeah.
Did you think I've overdone it, folks?
And Candygram from Mongo gets second comment of the night. He says, outstanding. Colin's building a tank version of a battleship.
Absolutely, mate. Which means, look, I've even 3D printed mud flaps for it for the front there, see? Because,
mud flaps.
Look, flaps for the mud. And it's perfect because it just carries on with that one.
Did you design them or did you find them online?
I found them online, mate. I ain't that good.
Well, I don't know. You might be.
No, mind you saying that, I did the 3D print a moto jig for building motorcycles, and that's garnered quite a bit of interest on the interwebs.
Oh, Edward Leonard explains that the reason he put TIT is because it would not let him actually send it with the word tit in it.
Yeah. I like that. I must admit, you probably noticed. It's got a bit of presence now.
You and Chris, I hate you both because you made better Beyblades than me.
Oh, don't be daft, mate.
Mine's just a standard out of the box Beyblade, but then again, I can always build more. I suppose.
For that. Yeah, so I've got my gun drillage even to do.
Gentlemen, drill your guns.
Because I think I've got a couple of more of these things to build and all. So.
Skill Modelling says, TIT, what the orcs were thinking. Turret, injuries, tightness in the undercarriage.
Yeah.
Sprue and Glue says, mud flaps with a tit on it.
Yeah.
I can't say it like you say it, though. I can't say it in your voice.
What's that?
With a tit on it. I can't say it.
Yeah, it's got a tit on it, isn't it? It's going to be one that people are going to remember now, aren't they?
Yep.
Imagine them
Jimmy
explaining
Bone
it.
says, Jamie Byrne asks, what was the stream where Colin nearly killed Cy Reynolds? I can't find it. It was one of the Treehouse Club streams.
It's on my channel.
Is it on your channel or my channel?
Yeah. No, what it is the video. I've got it in a playlist on my channel, and it takes you over to your channel.
Okay. Yeah, it was one of the Treehouse streams, which is in a playlist on my channel, but it's also a playlist on Colin's channel. So either way you watch it.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was one of the After Dark ones, which are Patreon only.
No, if they go into it on my channel, it takes them to yours anyway. If you go into the live shows section on me channel, and then click the little arrow, and you'll see modcasts.
Was it Modcast or was it a Treehouse? It was Modcast, wasn't it?
It's Modcast, mate.
All right, apologies. It wasn't a Treehouse. It was more recent than that.
Yeah, actually, I could screen share it, couldn't I? You pilchard Wilkinson.
You could just put the link in chat.
Do you know something? That's a
you
good
could do
idea.
that, Phil, couldn't you? Do you know what, Cole? Do you know what?
I didn't know you could do that.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
What?
Guns.
Guns. Yeah.
Guns, innit?
Yeah.
What's that then? Guns.
Guns. Oh, I don't get out.
It's like your entire tank is 100% made of guns. What's that then? It's a gun.
Yeah, there you go. Have you some of that?
Get you some of it.
There you go. See, that'll take you over to Model Making Guru's channel. Conveniently.
It's not in chat yet, but that could be because my chat's a bit behind anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Don't go and watch it now because obviously we're live now, and that's
Cy Reynolds, lovely fella, and nice to see he's feeling well again. And he's got one of these laughs that's highly infectious, and I didn't set out to corpse him, but he just melted down for about 15 minutes. Then he's gone.
You didn't really set out to fall under the cupboard, but
yeah.
Yes, if you haven't seen that, it's we must do more modcasts at some point, but it's getting everyone together to do it.
Yeah.
We did a Boom Hut modcast, and Colin, bless him, if you haven't seen it, Colin, bless him, had a bit of an accident during the stream. That just, instead of all being worried and concerned about his health and safety, we just all corpsed constantly and laughed at him. And showed no sympathy whatsoever, and Simon just became broken completely.
Yeah, so I just didn't know what to do for laughing. It was, I said, I don't know whether to laugh, cry, feel sorry for you or your wife. He said,
I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or call an ambulance.
Yeah, I said, don't worry. I said, I was more worried about the camera angle. He said, why is that? I said, because as I slid forward, my trousers ended up round my ankles. I said, you can see what I've had for dinner. And that was it, mate.
Last week.
Dude, well, you are.
So yeah, that was a classic one, that one.
Yeah, it just got worse, didn't it? And
yeah, Jamie Brown says, I want to rewatch the part where Colin got stuck and no one asked him if he was all right.
Yeah.
I must admit, I was so busy laughing, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, do we need to, has any of us got like Helen's mobile number? Anyone got like your missus' mobile number in case we need to call her and say, can you get your husband up off the floor?
Oh, mate, it's like that day
I was too busy laughing to actually really be concerned.
Well, I did it ages and ages ago, didn't I? Where I leant over too far on this chair, and I fell off the side of it. And as I fell off, where I was airbrushing, I had the cupboard door open for the cupboard that my compressor is in. See? So as I've hit the deck, I've slid right underneath the door, and my head has jammed underneath it. So I'm now laying there. I've got my foot. One of my feet is still on the chair, poking out where the arm is. I'm at a 45-degree angle with my head wedged under the door with my compressor going, and my phone's on the bench. So
the thing is, you've just explained to me in detail how you did it, and I still don't know how the fuck you did it.
Yeah, about 5 minutes has gone by, and I thought, I'm kind of stuck here. And it was purely by chance my lad had heard the noise and had crept downstairs.
Yeah.
And he knocks on the door. He says, you all right in there? I said, you ain't going to believe this, but I might need your help. And he opened the door and he just said, I'll be back in a minute. I'll get Mum. They both come in armed with their phones. What was the first thing that came to their mind?
Take a picture, take a video.
But they got me out. But my missus was like, how? I said, don't ask.
Yep. Like I say, even when you explain
How?
it, I still can't see how you did it.
No. She's like, why? And then I was
Why?
putting a plug in the cupboard in the lounge, double wall socket. And as you know, I've had me spine fused in several places now.
Yeah.
So trying to lean forward, I can do it to a point, but then I've got no movement in my back. So I leant forward as far as I thought I could go, and I think my centre of gravity must have moved, because the next thing I was face planted on the back of the inside of the cupboard in this unit in the lounge. And I'm like, she's like, you're right. I'm like that. So she's grabbed me feet. What happened? I said, I overbalanced and fell in.
See, this is what tickles me is right. A lot of people, it's not uncommon to get your balance wrong and fall over.
Yeah.
But you seem to have this unique ability to fall over into things. Like you fall over into a cupboard or into a. I don't quite know how you do that. You never just fall on your arse. You fall into a cupboard.
I bought a fish tank, as you know, and I hadn't told you this one actually, because I knew you'd mock me, and I thought
I think I've actually already guessed exactly what you're about to say, but carry on.
Yeah, but my boy got the fish tank out the box, and there was one little box that was still in the big box. So I said, I'll get that. And I leant over with me grabber, and the next thing I know, I'm face down in the box, and my boy's corpsing again, and he's like, what happened? Because I'm on sticks, don't forget, see.
Yeah.
So, I'd put one of me sticks down to get the grabber. Of course, I've leant over too far, and I'm just like... And he said, the thing is, as you fell in, he said, the flaps had folded in over the top of you. He said, there's only your feet poking there.
But this is the thing. You just have this uncanny ability to, wherever you do fall over, you fall into something.
Yeah, I'm useless, mate.
It's like I say, you don't just fall on your ass.
No.
You can't fall in the middle of a floor. You just have to fall into the...
I was walking down the road with my missus just before the Velociraptor struck.
Yeah.
And, she helps me along, as you know, and that. And it was a bit of frosty on the ground, see, and I lost my footing, and I started to go, see. Well, where she had hold of my arm, her response, instead of grabbing hold of me to help me, she just let go and let me go. And I'm led there, sprawled out like a snow angel. I'm like, well, thanks for that, love. She said, well, do you think I was going to fall over with you? Sod that, she said, you're on your own, mate. I'm like, oh, nice to know that you love me that much. She said, there's love. She said, and there's watching you stack it. It's just two different things, mate.
Yeah, there's love, and then there's missing out on a good laugh.
Yeah.
I think as well, she probably knows that most of the time when you fall over, you kind of do it in such a way you're not going to hurt yourself, really.
That's right. I'm lucky now, Fox, because my spine's fused, so it's not as vulnerable to bangs like that, But before I had it fused, that's why I had it fused, because it was risky to have any sudden movements of the spine.
Yeah, like falling on your ass.
Like falling on my arse and that. So it still hurts, don't get me wrong, and I'd rather not do it, but
yeah,
I'm not going to break me back. I'm not going to paralyse myself because I've got loads of metal in me now.
But it's just like, I've never known anybody fall out of a chair so many times.
Well, yeah, this one's the Mark III chair, this one. This is the third one I've had out here. I started way back when doing the hangouts, and I used to sit in one of these little breakfast bar chairs, the ones with the tiny little seat and the backrest that finishes just above the cheeks of your Harris.
Yeah.
And they're about as much use as a chocolate teapot. Yeah. So I was in the hangout with Mike and Terry one night, and I leant back on the chair and it snapped, the back and snapped off of it. And I went flying through the door behind me, and Mike Mounty said, all I can remember seeing is your feet disappearing into the kitchen. He said, I'm watching you slide backwards along your kitchen floor because it's laminate, see. He said,
sliding along the floor.
He says, all I saw was your feet disappearing into darkness. They was all
like been dragged off by a grue or something.
Yeah, they're all pissing themselves laughing. And there's me, the other end of my kitchen, yeah.
But that's again, it's like most people, they fall out of the chair and they just wear the chair. You fall out of the chair and you're halfway across the house.
Yeah, because it's all laminate, and it's nice and shiny and all of that.
Most of us, if we fall out of our chair, we just fall out and we're just there, we're next to the chair. But you somehow managed to
Yeah, I went straight through the door, mate, gone.
It's like you seem to invoke like national curling when you do.
It is. I slide really well. I fell down these stairs. Oh, this was about 2.5 years ago. It was about a month after I had my back fused, and I lost my footing on the stairs, and I fell face down on the stairs and went sliding down the stairs. I had carpet burns on my hooter and my chin. And I've slid down and banged my head on the radiator. And where our hallway is, the door was open that goes into the lounge, and the wife's sitting there watching the telly. See, so I've come along. She's heard the radiator ring like Ted's bell does. She looks around. She says, "You all right? Did you fall?" I said, "No, I'm just checking to see if the skirtings need painting, love." Of course I fell. She said, "The funny thing is you've got this red tram line that goes right up your face. Why didn't you call out?" I said, "Because every time I went to say help, I'd stare smack me in the chin and shut me gob again."
Do you have to let me do that when I'm trying to glue an arm on? Down the stairs.
Oh, mate, she said, "Why?" I said, "I don't know. I put my feet out and I thought the stair was there and it wasn't quite there. And I just..." So we ended up getting the double grab rails fitted in the stairs then because we didn't have them at the time.
You kind of... You are the only person I know who actually lives in a world surrounded by cartoon violence.
Yeah.
You are basically living a cartoon.
I get myself into a bit of a state every now and then, as you well know.
Yeah.
And often when the wife meets people, they say, "How do you put up with him?" She says, "I don't know. He is a walking disaster of accidentness."
It's like, I fully expect somewhere in your house there is an anvil.
Yeah, there is.
You seem to live in this world of cartoon violence, like you can go down the stairs every step.
I've got a little baby one in my shed because I used to use the anvil when I used to do the sheet metal work for the fuel tank.
Yeah, that's gonna end up falling on your head at some point. You do realise that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
it's clearly going to happen. You do know that.
Yeah, that's why I keep it on the ground, mate. It's on a wooden tree stump stand thing.
That's not going to stop you. You'll fall under it.
Oh, mate, I've had all kinds of things fall on me over the years. I fell out my loft. Oh, this is going back. Oh, the kids were babies.
He's off. He's not even started yet.
I was up in the loft, which is in my eldest son's room.
Yeah.
And I had floored the loft because when we moved in here, someone had left a load of knackered old wardrobes in every room, see. So I dismantled them and I used them to floor the loft out with, see, to make it easier to store more stuff up there.
Makes sense.
So maybe, you can put a box on the loft and just go boom and it scoots along the floor, see.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea. And I was sliding my way back to get out of the loft, but I went too far. And I'm obviously with my knees folded like someone on a magic carpet, and I've just gone plop straight through the loft hole, straight onto the end of my boy's bed. And he says, "You all right, mate?" I says, "Yeah, I just thought I couldn't be bothered to come down the ladder, mate."
I thought I'd come down the quick way.
Yeah, he just looked at me and he went, "Is this one of them I need to tell Mum?" Please don't, son.
Yeah. Please, if you say please don't, he will.
Dad. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mate. He still told her. Dad fell out the loft. First thing he said when she came in, "He fell out the loft, Mum." "Oh, really?" she said. What next? I said, "Don't worry, love, I'm fine." So I'm not worried about that.
You knew you couldn't trust him with your secret.
Yeah, I'm useless, mate.
Yep. I'm just disappointed he didn't try and get money out of you to keep you quiet.
Oh, he's won a golf cart out of me before. One of these golf buggy things, because we went down a pitch and putt. Now most people when they go down a golf course lose a ball, don't they? I lost a club.
Right. Who's a club, idiot?
And yeah, I was just about to tell you this. Yeah, I mean, in Basingstoke, anyone that lives near the locale will know it. We got like a 9-hole miniature golf course thing.
Yeah.
So he was, I don't know, about 16 at the time. He said, "Let's go and have a game of golf." Me being me, I'm budding Tiger Woods and all of that. Yeah, let's
Tiger
go
Woods on the mini golf circuit.
Yeah, So anyway, he said, "Oh, I want a golf cart." And I went, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what." I said, "Whoever gets to the hole closest," I said, or whatever, nearest the green. I said, "We'll see." I said, "If you can get it on the green, you get a golf buggy." He hit this ball, and it landed about 3 inches from the hole. So, of course, I thought, I can't have that. I'll hit mine harder. And as I've hit it, I'm left with the rubber bit off the end of the golf club in the hand. As the golf club's gone owning it at a right angle, straight over onto the train line that runs along the golf course. Right. So when we go back with the stuff, the bloke goes to give me my deposit. I went, "I don't think I'll be needing that." He said, "Oh, you lost your ball." I went, "Well, I got the rubber bit of the club. The rest of it's gone over the train line." And he's like, "What?"
How the hell have you done that?
I said, "Well, I hit this ball." But anyway, Lex got his golf buggy, so yeah.
You can't be trusted with anything, can you?
No, so I've not played golf since.
Yeah. Like we all joke and say we're all like 7 years old in our mind.
Yeah.
You're literally just 7 years old, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, mate. I steadfastly have never grown up, mate. I still... I mean, you answer me this question. If you was walking beside the river and you came across that bit of string hanging off a tree branch, you would want to swing across the river, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I would try to run and jump across the river on that stupid.
Well, actually, I wouldn't. What I would do is, true to the way I was when I was a kid, I'd make sure my mate Mike would do it first. I'd convince him to do it first because you give it a go first. Okay, string snaps in the canal. There you go.
Absolutely. I know it would end badly for me, but I would still have a go.
Yeah. Like the number of times I got my mate to jump across the local brook on his bike first, or to go on the frozen canal first, or to do something else dumb. I'd like, "Let's do this, brilliant, you go first." Okay, smash. Yeah. I'm not doing that now.
I was that one in the group where, someone would go, "Well, I wonder whether that water's deep." "Cole, what? How deep do you think that water is?" "I'll soon let you know." And I'd be in there. And I'd go, "Cool, that is deep."
How deep is it? It's pretty deep.
We won't bother with that. So I'll be walking along next to them with soaking wet gear on. Yeah.
But they
at
least, yeah. You weren't happy if you weren't falling out of trees.
Oh, yeah. But my mum, I mean, she had to take me up the hospital because I got a Pyrex bowl stuck on my head.
Please tell me at some point you get your head stuck in some railings.
No, I haven't done that. I got my head trapped under the banisters when we lived there.
Everything you've done in your life so far, and you've never once got the proper Beano dandy head stuck in the railings. That's
I've not had the fire brigade out like that. But
that's disappointing. You see.
Yeah,
that's the classic mishap.
But no, my brother was playing soldiers, and I thought I'd wear an hat. And my mum didn't have any tin trays deep enough, so I wedged this Pyrex bowl on my head, thinking it was a good idea. And I got the handles and proper pulled it down and all. And I thought, "Oh yeah, I'm proper gung-ho. And do you think I could get this thing off my head?" She had tried the washing up, liquid treatment, and all of that lot. But yeah, I had to go up the hospital with that. So I had a purple ring round my head for weeks.
How did they get it off?
I don't know what they used, mate. Honestly, don't know what they used.
Did they just lube you up like a channel swimmer?
Yeah, I think there was some kind of jelly-like substance that may have been applied around me. That sounds wrong.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we'll leave that there. But yeah. Yeah, my poor mum. Oh, I've lost the turret. Where's it gone?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a turret. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Grabber. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I steadfastly refuse to grow up. Life's too short, mate, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's too boring being an adult.
Yeah, I tried being an adult all of about 10 minutes and I didn't like it. So
no, it's just boring, isn't it? It's not the same fun. It's not anywhere near as much fun.
Panzer Koenig's off. He's going to bed. Happy days,
Take care, buddy. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for joining us. Muchly appreciated to all of you that have come and kept us company.
Yeah, I must go to bed soon myself. It's 3:15, you know.
Yeah, we'll come off air shortly.
Yeah. Although I'm having quite good fun, so I'm not really too fussed.
Yeah.
I don't have to be up. I don't have to stream tomorrow until 3 o'clock, so I can stay in bed till midday if I need to.
Yeah,
like a proper loosh.
Yeah, we'll come off at what, 3:30?
Yeah, that sounds good.
There you go.
Unless you're in the middle of another embarrassing story, in which case we'll go as long as we need to.
No, I don't think I've got any more at the moment.
I can't actually say in my life I've been that haphazardly, disastrously prone to anything like that. I've never done anything. You know, I fell off the climb. We had a little sort of climbing frame in our garden once.
Yeah.
That the entire neighbourhood took advantage of because we were the only kids with the climbing frame.
Yeah.
And I sat on the top of that once and said, "Look at me, I can do it without holding on," and then fell off and fell all the way down and dinged my arm.
Oh yeah, you do.
That's not really exciting. I fell over at school on the last day of term in the 5th form. I tried to jump off a bollard to grab a branch on a tree, missed, and almost, and sort of broke my ankle on the last day of term.
Yeah.
And then the physics teacher had to drive me to hospital in his van with his dogs.
Oh.
Which was cool. He was a cool dude though, so that was all right. He had a camper van. And that was weird. So my entire summer holidays was spent. I was about to say with my leg in a sling, but that would be stupid. My entire summer holidays was spent on crutches, not going anywhere. That was really perfect timing. So I had no summer holidays that year. But I've not really done anything like that, kind of dumbly accident.
Yeah, I've had the obligatory broken arm, broken leg, that sort of thing. You know.
Yeah. I mean, the only dumb thing I've done is year before last when I broke my toe trying to fight a bleeding bramble in the garden.
Yeah,
that was annoying.
I seem to have spent a lot of my childhood on crutches, and now, obviously, as an adult, I've ended up back on crutches and sticks. It's ironic, really. You know.
Yeah, but at least you know what you're doing.
But it's funny. I mean, I'm of the generation. My mum used to give us castor oil. Apparently, it's good for your bones. Well, I can contest that it isn't because I've had so many skeletal issues.
Do you know what we used to get? We didn't get cod liver oil. We got cod liver oil and malt.
Yeah.
Now, I tried. Once she actually got cod liver oil by mistake.
Yeah.
And it'd be the same every day. We'd be called into the kitchen, or at least I'd be called into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And she'd be there, and there was a cupboard in the kitchen, like a French dresser in the kitchen. It was a blue thing. And she'd open the cupboard up. And inside there were various pots and jars, but I remember the two things I remember was a tin of camp coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know, this is the 1970s. I don't know why there was a tin of camp coffee, because nobody in the house drank it. There was a tin of camp coffee and always a tin of cod liver oil and malt.
Yeah.
And I'd be given, when I went to bed, I'd have a vitamin pill, like a multivitamin. Yeah. But in the morning, I'd be given a big tablespoon of cod liver oil and malt. And I tell you what, I loved it. It was dead nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was quite tasty, but one time she accidentally got cod liver oil.
Yeah.
Without the malt, and that was horrible.
Yeah.
But the tins lasted for weeks. So for weeks I had to suffer cod liver oil, but then it went back to cod liver oil and malt. And I loved it. It was like this, I can taste it now. It's kind of a, it's hard to explain the flavour. It's a bit like, I don't
was
know.
It like a cod livery and oil flavour?
Sort of an oil. It's guns, isn't it?
Yeah, guns, isn't it?
Guns. Tastes a bit like guns, isn't it?
It's got tit on it, Fox. Did you know that? It's got tit on it, mate.
I'm not eating that. It's got a tit on it. I'm not putting that in my mouth. And then again.
Yeah, you think I'm having any of that? It's got tit on it, isn't it?
So, but anyway, it was kind of a whole grain, earthy taste. It was quite pleasant.
Yeah.
But then the cod liver oil was there. But that was like the 70s, and it's like, there's things we used to do. I forgot about cod liver oil and malt. I used to really like it.
Yeah,
was
castor oil, that was another one.
Never had that one.
Yeah, my mum believed in all these home remedies. It'll do you good. Yeah, but it tastes like gash, mum. Smack.
Right. There you go. That's what you get for doing that.
Yeah, it's like, all right, won't be saying that again then. But I don't.
How do you know it does me some good? Because when you take it, you don't get a slap. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. If you don't take it, yeah, all right then. Point taken.
Point taken. Nicely said. Fair enough.
Seeing what other weaponry of goodness I've got on these remains of these. Got a few grey balls, but then I think I need to be able to glue everything that there is in this thing to the Baneblade, don't I?
Apart from the actual sprue, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be done, isn't it?
There's some spare wheels in there as well, don't forget.
Yeah, spare wheel holder.
The only thing that I was torn with mine is burpage. You get on the top of the tracks, you know, the armour that goes around the tracks where the sponsons attach.
Yeah.
You get some plates that go over those because you've got the square bit with the little recess where the sponson clicks in.
Yes.
You've got plates for the ones where you don't put sponsons.
Yeah.
But I like the little recessed bit with the little grill in it.
Yeah.
So I haven't put those on mine. I've left them all off because I like the little recessed bit with the grill.
I don't know whether I've got that, have I?
Yeah, you should. It's part of the standard armour.
What's that on the front slopey bit?
No. If you look at the where the sponsons attach.
Yeah, got here.
No, the sponsons on the side.
Oh right, yeah.
You've got those 3 little rectangles with the recessed bits.
Oh right, yeah.
You actually get 3 blanking plates to cover those up where you've not got a sponson. So if you've got like 2 sponsons, you can cover the 3rd one up.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the blanking plate because I like that little recess. It looks like a little prison window.
It looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah.
No, not that bit.
Yeah, the bars in, yeah.
Yeah, but there's the top bit as well. There's a plate for the top.
Oh right, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
So I like the side plates, but I use the side plates, but I didn't use the top plate because the top plate looks better without the plate on it.
Yeah, all these little spare plates, they'll get adhered to it somewhere.
Yeah, they'll go somewhere.
Yeah, because I've got loads of spares, haven't I?
So you could even just like Dremel them up and put bullet holes in them and just make them, and then have them just tied to some other part of the tank with a bit of wire or cable or something.
Yeah, like just hanging down and flapping around and doing.
They've just picked it up off the battlefield and strapped it on the side of the tank.
It's loads of potential, mate.
Yeah.
Still quite a bit more pimpage can be done on it, I reckon.
Pimpularity.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So are you going to take up whoever it was that had the box of 10 Gretchen? Who was it? Was it Plastic Monkey?
Paul. Yeah, it's Plastic Monkey. He's in the hangouts with me every night. I do hangouts. One of my patrons, Paul.
Plastic Monkey.
That's
riding on a big plastic monkey. That's not the right lyrics for that song, but it's near enough.
He thinks I'm mad as well.
Surely
people do for some reason. Don't know why.
I can't imagine why.
I do like that gun on the front. I really like that. Wait, look about it, innit?
You're going to have to narrow that down to one of the 12 different guns on the front.
Yeah.
I like the gun on the front. Which one? All of them.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's probably, if it was to scale, it would be about 4 stories high, 5 stories high.
Yeah. Yeah, but you've got to admit, I think we can honestly say that it's not out the box, is it?
It's out of the box on peyote.
Yeah, it's everything out of the box is on it, but it's not necessarily a by the book build, is it?
No, it's like it's like building a cathedral by throwing all the bits to build a cathedral into a hurricane and hoping a cathedral comes out the other end.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been festered to a degree.
Yeah, a slight bit of festerage.
I'll get to do all the fun of the welding and all of that lot. That'll be cool.
Yeah, slight bit of festulations.
But yeah, and it's quite tall at the back as well. Got some more.
A little bit of festularity.
I've made an additional insert on its arris there.
I noticed that. Very nicely done.
So yeah, and I've got to weld across here then and make this look a bit gnarly.
Yeah. What's your access though to get to the bits?
And extend the
burpage.
The access even.
There you go. So you're going to leave that bit unglued?
Yes. Yeah, it's going to have magnetisation of goodness put in underneath here.
Look at the magnetility.
Yeah, and it'll just ka-ching like so.
Yeah. Have you cut the ends off them exhaust pipes?
Yes.
Cool.
Because they're going to grow a bit because I've got another set, don't forget.
Excellent. You're going to give them proper, like, Nightmare Before Christmas chimney stacks.
Yeah, they're going to sort of, come up.
I like that.
So, yeah, the exhausts have been modified because I've got to complete another set of 4 of these, so I'm going to extend them up.
Oh, yeah, you got double exhaust, haven't you?
Yeah.
Kick ass.
Yeah.
Was that on the extra sprue? Is that just in the kit?
Oh, no, it comes on the extra sprue, mate.
Damn, we sent you extra exhaust pipes.
Yeah,
That's
you
cool.
get extra drummage, extra exhaust pipes, as well as sponsons. And don't forget, I've got another 2 sponsons to come yet. So
Yeah, where are you going to put those?
More exhausts.
Where are you going to put them, dude?
Well, I've got to have 6 each side, didn't I? 3 each side.
Oh, yeah. 6. 6 on each side. 12
Yeah.
sponsons.
Yeah.
It's more a tank attached to some sponsons than sponsons attached to a tank at this point.
I think it might earn a few points on the game table, didn't you?
Well, like somebody said, basically, I think you'll get to the point where if you're playing in a 2,000 point game, that tank is your entire 2,000 point budget. Yeah. It's in the game. It's classed as a Lord of War.
Oh right, yeah.
The Baneblade is a Lord of War,
Yeah.
which is a big load of points. Basically, yours isn't the Lord of War. Yours is just war.
Yeah. So
Yours is just your entire army.
I'm a Lord of War.
It's basically a troop carrier and your entire armoured section and pretty much air support as well, technically.
It's going to be nice painted as well. I can kind of see it in the old, as to how it's going to look. It'll get there.
It would be impressive if you could somehow get wings on it as well.
Wings?
Yeah, I don't know.
I will graft the Valkyrie onto it somehow.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I've just removed the wings from the Valkyrie and applied them to the Baneblade.
Because, of course, I have.
Because you can, can't you? But yeah,
Because it's a thing, isn't it?
it's got to be done though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, a few little blanking plates in there of goodness.
What are you doing with your Valkyrie? Are you walking that or are you keeping that as it is? Because it's a nice kit just by itself, but... Have you decided whether...
It could be about to be looted, I suppose, couldn't it? Not necessarily go too mad on it. It's just been looted.
Yeah. See, now you're learning the terminology because that's what they're known as, looted vehicles.
Yeah.
When you like if an orc has a customised orcified vehicle, it's called a looted vehicle. So you're learning the words.
Someone might have cheekily sent me loads of links to stuff, including Forge World.
That's true. That's true.
And we all know how that went, don't we?
Yeah. You see, you know what I saw in there that I thought you would adore would be the grot tanks.
Oh.
Because you remember how the grots are tiny?
Yeah.
The grot super heavy tank is like the size of like a normal car compared to like an actual, because they're little tiny dudes, so their super heavy tank is this tiny little thing.
Yeah.
And little grot tanks, it's like a little grot tank will be like your fuel barrels on the back with tracks on it. But to them it's a massive tank, but to these little tiny tanks. But they're out of stock at the minute. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look at chat. The worst thing I've ever done is walk into a concrete lamppost. Says Sprue and Gloom. We've all done that. Yeah. I ran up the stairs to go across a footbridge in my local hometown once and didn't see the glass door. But unfortunately, I was like 12 and there was a bunch of like 15-year-old kids all being all grumpy and teenagers. And I just ran up and went spang at full tilt into this glass door. And they thought it was hilarious. And I was so embarrassed. Also, everything hurt.
Proper Garfield then.
Yeah, pretty much. If Colin fell from a plane, he would land in the one wheelie bin in a massive field.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember one night nipping to the toilet, and I think I may have exerted a lot of energy because as I stood up, I momentarily blacked out, fell forward, and bounced my head off the sink. Says Scale Modelling Chaos. Oh dear. This is hurting my side, says Sprue and Glue. Jamie Bowen says, I did that after his heart surgery in hospital. He slipped and was spread eagle on the floor. The nurse said, are you alright? I said, yeah, I'm just checking the tiles. Oh, you alright? Colin, you're just a walking disaster, says Sprue and Glue.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, my poor wife, bless her. I try.
I think she's used to it now, though.
But it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, this is a blokey thing, though, isn't it? Because we all, us blokes, we do things stupidly, don't we?
Because we're blokes. We don't do anything. We can't do anything but stupidly because.
I mean, you'll have an inaccessible area on your landing, when you're trying to decorate, and we all think it's a good idea to sort of slide a little bit of wood across the banisters and rest it on the rung of a ladder that's propped up with a bucket. You know, we all do it.
Oh, you mean that bit of the ceiling that's like where the stairs go down, the ceiling goes up, and it's like 30 foot in the air, and you can't get near it.
We all sort of do it. And we're like, yeah, I'll get up there, and you're up there, and the wife looks at you and goes, "What the effing are you doing?" You're like, "What, love?" As you go crashing down,
as you go flying past. What?
Yeah, and it's like, but at the time it seemed the way to do it. But why did you think that was a good idea? Yeah, but I'm a bloke. I didn't think that. You
have to say to her, you know when you married me, love, you do know I'm a bloke, don't you?
Yeah, you know.
You do know you did sign the terms and conditions. You did read the end user license agreement.
Yeah, she said I should come with a break glass only in the case of emergency. Yeah.
Jamie Bone also says when the nurse asked him about lying on the floor, he says, "Do you want to get up?" I said, "Well, the bed would be softer and not as cold." Yeah. And he says he's also fallen down the stairs with the front door open and out into the garden.
Yeah. ECI though says he dislocated a toe once and he nearly passed out when he reset it without thinking.
My ex's little boy, says Scale Modelling Chaos, my ex's little boy fell out of an upstairs open window and fortunately landed on a bread bin, which had been put out. So, hang on, a bread bin's like a big metal thing or a wooden thing. He said it landed, which he put outside. My ex was worrying he was injured and he just wanted to do it again. You fall off a bread bin? Where are we? I pulled a Mooney in a tree and fell back. Phil East. I pulled a Mooney in a tree and fell bare-arsed into a load of nettles. It only injured my pride on that one. Why would you pull a Mooney in a tree?
That's a good old traditional thing, though. Whatever happened to the Mooney?
It's still around, but why would you do it in a damn tree? For the Americans in the audience, if you don't know, pulling a Mooney is bearing your backside.
Yeah, you used to do it when you was... do you remember CB radios?
Yep.
And we all had them in our cars, like, and you would go out doing a fox hunt, and you know your mate would come careering alongside you, and whoever was in the passenger seat always had their Harris hanging out the window.
You're moving up against the passenger window.
Yeah, it's just a quintessential British thing, isn't it?
But then your mate accelerates off, and then this passenger goes flying into the back seat.
Yeah. The art of the Mooney.
Scale Modelling Kale says my funniest, and then he says there's something that's not funny. He says when I was smashing up a pallet with a metal stake and a piece of wood flew up and smacked me on the face, the piece had a nail in it and the nail split open my face above my lip. That's not actually funny there. I've been very lucky though, as once I punched a pane of glass and the whole thing smashed and all I got was a tiny little cut on my little finger. A friend of mine decided in a very drunk moment one day in town to walk out the pub and kick a shop window and smash it. He was completely drunk. Unfortunately, 2 feet away from him was a couple of really big hairy-ass policemen.
Yeah,
and it was like
deal for the window.
Yeah, it was like you can't really get out of this. But I didn't do that. He's like, dude, we just stood just there. He went, I can't get out of that. I went, no. He said, right, I'll pay the bill then. I was just laughing my head off. I wasn't involved in it, so. But he was like, it wasn't me, dude. We just stood there. We just saw you do it. He went,
it would be one of them things, though, wouldn't it? I mean, my mum used to say to me, right, we're going in this shop because I want to. She used to like collecting porcelain and things like that. Yeah. So she would stand me there and she'd say, please do not move, do not touch anything on the shelves. Yeah. And you would try your damnedest and the display would suddenly give out or whatever. And you're just stood there and you're like, why does this happen to me?
Yeah.
You know, the baked bean tin stack in the supermarket.
Yeah.
I'll walk past it just as it's collapsing and my missus goes, did you touch any of that? No, darling.
Wasn't me.
Didn't. Are you sure you didn't? Yeah, I'm sure. Really?
Yeah. EC Idaho says I dislocated a toe once and nearly passed out when I reset it without thinking.
I might have already read that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, he says, I had a crowd only about 12 years old and climbed up quite high and thought, how do I make this more impressive? Mooney was the obvious answer, says Philip. That's why I put the Mooney.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the only way you can top it, really, isn't it? Is dropping your kecks and doing a mooning, mate.
And Chaos says, of course, when you're 12, that is an impressive thing to do. Yeah, when you're 12 years old, that's like the badass thing you can do. Pop your arse out, but then accidentally fall off into a patch of neck.
There is something, though, in there that's remarkably appealing about doing a moonie, and it's like,
I think it's something that's universally British, I think.
It is, isn't it? It's like, that got their attention, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
I don't know.
Well, I think that's a good time to park ourselves up for the night.
I've managed to complete all the arms and guns for all my dudes. I've got all the heads and accessories to do yet, but I've got some progress made. Not much, but that's your fault.
I've managed to systematically chop more bits off the Baneblade than I've put on, but I've got to that point now where I can see light at the end of the tunnel and I can start adding things back on it now. So it's like,
I have to say, I'm quite amused that, like, when you and Dave do, or you and Dad do a build cast, when you're doing a buddy build, you actually get quite a lot of work done. When me and you are doing it, we kind of get bugger all done. Although you've done more than me.
because we goof around, don't we?
Yeah.
Because are we really profesh? And it's late night.
No.
You know, we are both 12 and a half, and
yeah, I'm 7.
Yeah, Dave says he's 7 as well.
I'm 7, but I'm still falling out of trees as much as
I'm
possible.
only 12 and a half because I can go and buy fags then, see.
You're only 12 and a half because somebody bought you a grifter, and now you've got to say you're older.
I had a grifter, but it weighed the same as the Titanic. It was
I'm 7, so I've only got a chopper.
Good bikes.
Although one bike I did have very quickly, I had a bike. I don't know what it was, but it was called the Spider bike.
Oh, right.
It was just like a normal frame bike, but it had like a spider pattern on it. But it had such stiff handlebars that you could ride it hands-free round corners and everything.
Oh, man.
You could do hands-frees, or I used to ride around the block, just never holding the handlebars.
Do you remember the first time? Go on.
I was thinking you could lean into corners. You just didn't have to. The steering was so tight.
Do you remember the first time you went no-handed? You would stack the bike, wouldn't you? But you'd still get up and do it again.
Oh, yeah. It was like, wow, I'm a big boy now.
Yeah, I can ride no-handed. Look, crunch.
Yeah. The funny thing was, all the stuff we used to do on bikes when we were little kids, and then for like the next 30 years, I didn't ride a bike. And when I was like 42, I had to ride a bike. And I was like, it's not true. You do forget. Because I had none of the courage. I was like, trying to go between a car and the curb was like the most terrifying thing in the world.
Yeah, I did that in my 30s. I went and bought a bike, tried to pull a wheelie, and I stacked it. And it was like, I'm not 12 and a half anymore.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was an idiot and had no fear. Now I'm an older man. I have all the fear in the world.
Yeah, but see, this is where I go wrong because I kind of don't. I'm like, that'll work. What possibly could go wrong? Crunch.
Yeah, I think you just don't learn from the consequences.
I don't learn from my mistakes. I am that person. If I hit me thumb with an hammer, I will still try to hit the nail again and still hit me thumb with the hammer.
Oh yeah. You're right. I won't do that again. I'll put the hammer in the other hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh well, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight and our inane drivel and goofing around and all of that lot. And
yes.
If you're up for another one next week, Fox, we'll be back next week and keep
always up for a bit of Friday night fun. Wait, that doesn't sound good.
This is a nice way for me and you, innit, to relax at the end of the week and just chill out with the cool dudes and dudettes. So also gives the guys the other side of the pond a chance to see how bad us Brits are, but we've been in lockdown for 6 months.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to sit there and have 3 hours of references they don't even begin to understand.
Yeah. But
they know instinctively it's funny, they just don't know why.
Absolutely. And thanks for all your help as well with the guns and all of that lot. And remember, folks, it's got a tit on it.
It's got a tit on it, ass.
I'll leave you with that.
Colin, what's that?
Guns.
What's that then? Guns. Idiot.
Guns, isn't it? well, yeah, it's guns, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's guns, isn't it? Idiot.
All right, folks. Catch you all later.
Adios, amigos.
Bye-bye.
Bye.